Hey, thanks for clicking on the video. This is going to be another episode of Reforge Gaming News covering Xbox Game Pass placing ads in your games. What is going on? What's the research behind this? Why would they do this? Is this more signs that Game Pass could be affecting gaming in a pretty significant way? If you miss a live stream, hit subscribe and the bell button so you don't miss my episodes. If you're subbed to the channel and you haven't been seeing my live streams, always make sure to check the subscription feed and my channel. We stream every day, 2 shows a day. Just this morning, we went over the Elden Ring patch notes. So be sure to do that. YouTube made some adjustments and we're not always showing up in your recommended. All right, I'm going to bring everybody over from this morning's stream where we discussed all those buffs and nerfs in Elden Ring. If you missed that stream, make sure and go watch it. And I am still going to give you this little intro here, this Reforge update about what is going on, where this news report came from, and what exactly it could mean for you. This is a Reforge update. Microsoft putting ads in games is a headline I wasn't sure I'd ever read, even though some speculated this might become a thing, and it could be related to free-to-play game culture as well as the Xbox Game Pass. If you like these quick updates, hit subscribe and the bell button. That way you don't miss my uploads, or check out Reforge Gaming where I streamed it live. We pulled this from The Verge. A lot of people reported on this, and I thought The Verge had a good breakdown, saying that Microsoft is reportedly working on a program that will let brands showcase advertisements within free-to-play Xbox games. This is according to a report from Insider. Now, the real question that people probably have almost instantaneously is, will this disrupt games? Sources familiar with the situation told Insider that the ads would not disrupt gameplay and may appear on a billboard in a racing game, as an example. Many people look at this and think that could be incredibly irritating, chintzy, or silly, and Microsoft is well aware of the potential irritation. It's not immediately clear how else Microsoft plans on implementing ads, such as having them show up as avatar skins or as videos inside of game lobbies, but as Insider notes, Microsoft is reportedly concerned that ads could, quote, irritate players and is planning on building a private marketplace to let only select brands into the program. You could imagine how this might start to feel pretty annoying. You're in between games and you come out to the lobby and there's just this rotating banner or a mini video that plays. If you've ever played mobile games that constantly pepper you with ads because the game is free, you could see that effect happening in console games and how much it would irritate players who are not accustomed to that. Even on the mobile games themselves, it's not really something you can get used to. It's disruptive and incredibly annoying. The question also would be, who gets the money? Sources have told Insider that Microsoft doesn't intend to take a cut from ad revenue and will instead allow the game developer and advertising company to share the funds. It's possible that Microsoft may just want to use this as a way to attract more developers of free-to-play games to the platform, as this would open up other streams of revenue outside of microtransactions. So, translation, this might make it easier for third-party companies to make little indie games, make them free-to-play, because they're going to bake advertisements into them. Imagine if McDonald's or Coca-Cola decide to say, hey, we want to pepper your game with advertisements and we're willing to pay a pretty penny for that. It could lead to more monetization options outside of the game not being directly related to the consumer. What did Microsoft say when questioned about this? Quote, "We are always looking for ways to improve the experience for players and developers, but we don't have anything further to share." A Microsoft spokesperson said this in a statement to Insider, and they refuse to comment further. They can't get any more information out of Microsoft. Probably because the optics on this isn't that fantastic. The idea that, hey, we got Game Pass, we got free-to-play games, we got all these games you can play for free, and if they start baking in advertisements, it could start to feel extremely long and overexposed almost. Like, you see enough of this everywhere you go. It's like, I go here, there's a billboard. I go on YouTube, there's billboards and ads. Listen, I stream on YouTube. I put content on YouTube. I know advertisements make the world go round, but they also can be pretty disruptive to a gaming experience. This really feels like a Game Pass thing. Like, a lot of the games on Game Pass could get baked in advertisements as part of the deal. Hey, we'll throw you on Game Pass, but part of our deal with this advertising company is that we throw their ads into your game. This could be also a free games thing. The free-to-play culture could be heavily influenced by this, and what this could do to gaming as we know it We know companies are hungry to try to shove NFTs into games, and now they might be hungry to shove ads into your games. Let us know what you think in the comments below. As always, hit subscribe and the bell button, and I'll see you in the next video. And I'll see the rest of you right now for show number 2 today. What do you make of this? What do you make of this potentially putting advertisements in games, and what that means for your experience, what that means for just the general culture of free-to-play gaming, of subscription service gaming, what it could mean and what it could do to all those experiences that we have out there. Let us know what you think in chat. I'd love to hear from you. If you weren't able to be here for the live chat, consider becoming a member or supporting the channel in all the different ways that's listed below in the description. We've seen members jump a little bit in response to the extra stream on Thursdays, where you get a little candid members-only stream with me called Thursday Throwdown. Can get into maybe more spicy, not so safe for work discussions there. And then Friday nights, don't forget this Friday night is community game night for members. We are playing Fortnite, no build squads. It's on every platform, it's free, and there's crossplay. Just install it and come join us. Brendan says, how will the ads be shown? That's the question, right? Billboards, stickers on your skin, who knows, right? Who knows? Like, I put the McDonald's logo on Master Chief's visor just to be kind of cheeky for the thumbnail, but it could be as silly as that, right? It could be almost as goofy as that, is that you literally have brand labels and stickers and your character ends up looking like he's wearing a NASCAR jacket and you're just trying to play, you're just trying to play a video game, right? Creature says, breaking news, Halo Infinite has released a new map available today, Exile. The Moderna edition is brought to you by Duracell. Give me a second, chat. Smash the like button. New stream. So make sure you're on live chat and give that thumbs up. Get us our first 100 likes. Somebody says, I'm getting serious Ready Player One vibes here. Sorcerer says, I refuse to play any games that have NFT, and I feel the same way with ads. I won't support or purchase any game that has them in there. Sorcerer, let me ask you guys a question. Let's actually do a poll. We didn't do a poll this morning, but let's do a poll this afternoon. All right? Xbox placing ads in games. Is this okay? Yes, only if it's free. No, this is not okay ever. And yes, only if it's free. No, this is not okay ever. Yes, any game can do this. So yes, only if it's a free game. Only if it's a free game. So I'm allowing you to say, yeah, sure, that's fine in a free game. No, this is not okay ever. And then, yes, any game can do this. So I'm giving you 3 choices. I think that pretty much covers it. Lono, this may shape games in a really disruptive way, says Brutal Gear. Hear me out. Take a free shooter like Splitgate. Now introduce an accepted revenue stream of ad banner before a PvP match begins. Right. I didn't even realize the McDonald's logo. Yeah. I tried to be subtle. I didn't try to be obnoxious about it. I tried to be kind of cheeky with the thumbnail, a little bit. A little bit cheeky. I can see it now. You just died in a Deathloop run, and then they hit you with this next run is brought to you by Rose Hills Memorial and Mortuary. Seriously, says Creature, if the ads are passive, I really don't care. But if they're even a little disruptive or immersion breaking, it's BS. Yeah, I could see them throwing them on loading screens. As long as this is only along the lines of an advert banner at the side of a race course or the burger joint on a map being a McDonald's, that sort of thing you see in life, I'm good. Right, like that's not product placement in a movie or a TV show. System costs 300 games, cost 800 online, cost 80 to be online, cost 100 a year, and now they want ad revenue. Nothing is free. Everything is complimentary. Robert says the least annoying way is having them during loading screens. Yeah, just like a banner. Just keep top of mind marketing. Hey, while you're waiting for the map to load, McDonald's has got Whoppers 2 for $1 right now. Loading screens will be where most are. I think that's probably where most of these will land, yes, because what are you going to do? You're just sitting there. Once I've spent money on skins, it's no longer a free game, says Eugene. If the developers get money, that could grow, and it might help for more games quality. That's the part of the video I think is important. Right, it could open up opportunities for little companies, little devs to make a free-to-play game, and for advertisers to say, hey, look, man, we'll throw billboards and advertisements on your loading screens. It'll download it and get updated on a weekly basis, you know, so that way it's relevant to whatever we're advertising, and we're going to give you this much money to do it. People said the same thing back in 2006. Microsoft confirms massive incorporated acquisition. Oh, people made this prediction back then. Yeah, this seems like it's closer to coming. Did he say McDonald's has a Whopper? Oh, I did say McDonald's has a Whopper. Sorry, I'm really hungry, so I got confused. McDonald's has the Big Mac. Burger King has the Whopper. Even if the ads are passive, says Brutal, they will affect the game. Games will then be incentivized to build the game around those ads. Why try to improve the game by reducing losing time when they make money for you? I feel like you're setting up a false dichotomy, sort of, Brutal. Like, I don't think they're choosing between making the game better and placing more ads in the game, right? It's not like your engineers and your quality assurance department and your quality testing department is going to be like, hey, did we fix that bug yet? No. We're placing more billboards. We're placing more ads. Like, I don't necessarily think that's how it's going to flesh itself out. I think that's an oversimplification of how devs will approach this. Throwing banners on loading screens or having, like, holding places for advertisements isn't the same as being like, oh, that's going to supplant and take the place of bug fixes and quality of life improvement. Not to mention, your advertisements and your payment for those advertisements will likely be negotiated and in relation to your daily player engagement. If your players are not engaging with your game, walking away from the game, playing the game less, and that's because you're not updating it, improving it, or making it any better, well, then, you know, those ads aren't going to do much. Tiny Tina Wonderlands announces first DLC. Coiled Captors is releasing this Thursday. Well, there we go. Might have to check that out. This Thursday, DLC for Tiny Tina. It didn't do amazing for us last time we played it, but maybe it'll get a little bit of traction now that people are more aware of it. I don't know. Everybody thought it was a DLC game to begin with. Will this possibly help with Outriders getting their devs money on their day one Game Pass launch, says Eric. I don't know if this is going to be like helpful to big AAA companies because, I mean, I don't know. I feel like that would really muddy the waters. Hey, really big dev company, you want to throw some ads in there? That feels like something that the publisher would negotiate, you know? I mean, the Series X and PC load time, says Distorted. Ads there could be a challenge, although I agree that's the best place for them. I don't trust companies to not artificially increase load times to warrant this. I was actually going to say that. I'm glad you brought that up. I skated past that. What if one of the main quality points of getting a Series X or a PS5, the really quick load times, slowly gets undercut by this and they start baking in load times so they can show you ads, right? It's like, as soon as we get instantaneous load times in games, we lose it because people are like, well, we can put up an advertisement. NBA 2K has already done this at times, says Omar. It's extremely annoying. Like, stop squeezing us for everything. Upfront costs, DLC, in-game ads, full commercials, NFTs. At what point have we paid enough? See, that's one of the things here, is the optics on this is delicate. Because when you say that, you know what I see, Omar? I see DLC optional, in-game ads passive, full commercials disruptive, NFTs corrupt. So it's the danger is if you start throwing in too much, it's all going to get labeled as grubby, greedy, nasty, whatever pejorative people want to come up with. There's nothing wrong with DLC. There's nothing wrong with in-game passive ads. Like, who cares? I don't care if there's product placement in a game. But you start doing full-on commercials and NFTs, and now, well, guess what? This is the real dilemma that developers need to think about. People are going to start to categorize any extra monetization as one and the same. This is what we do as a culture, right? Making someone uncomfortable is as guilty as killing them. So you're going to say all monetization's equal now. Oh, you put in microtransactions and skins? Pfft, you're just like those people that do NFTs. You're just like those people that put in full commercials. Do you see what's going to happen? The category is going to get blended, and then gamers are going to start to think any game that does monetization, any game that does anything like this, it's all going to be viewed as the same category. And then that's when people will say, oh yeah, this is horrible. This game's bad. That's going to be the real damage, is having optional DLC, optional microtransactions, cosmetic items, vanity items, battle passes. None of this stuff is inherently bad if done properly. But people will start to view it all in a negative light if every game seems to come baked with the full suite of, we got in-game commercials, we got banners, we got NFTs, we got, microtransactions and battle pass. Couldn't the AAA companies put ads in after like the first months to get ad revenue after the release? Oh, that's a question, isn't it? Do you guys think, is there a legality about that? If I buy a game and it has no ads in it, and then after they get their maximum amount of sales, like a month later, all of a sudden ads and banners start popping up, like little scrolling banners, load screen banners and ads. And they're like, look, man, that's our ability to do that. It's our game, it's our server, it's our net code. That's guilt by association. Right, that's what's going to start to happen, is people are going to think all of this monetization's nasty. Live service free-to-play are going to make money any way possible. Yeah, I see this as really, really affecting the free-to-play gaming culture. 100%. This is just bad. It could create trust issues. That could be a problem. Games are already monetized out the waz. This would be a terrible move by either console. Hawk and Rain says that would be gross. I agree. Don't put it past them. That's what happened with this game. Ads were removed. So they paid game no less. So ads were removed and then added, or they removed the ads later? What's the timeline there, Butters? Gamer Play says exactly, Lono. They'll just bake it into the terms so they can just adjust the game that you purchased. Creature said this is going to lead to base game of $59, deluxe edition $79, ad-free version $89. Yeah, that's another possible outcome here. Oh, you don't want the ad version? Yeah, that's $10 extra. Anbu says DLCs led to micros, which led to ads, which leads to NFTs, which is the new leading to adverts. These are all different, yes, but there's a pattern and trends of gaining the most profit as possible. Robert says, oh god, ad-free versions. Gritter says, I don't see Sony doing this. Yeah, I don't know. Might just be an overreaction. I don't know, says Mo. Well, Mo, we're sort of acting as if it's happening. What do you think, Mo? You love Microsoft. We know that. There's nothing wrong with loving Microsoft. You think they've got good plans for the future. You think Phil is really going to put Microsoft into a strong position in the market. What do you think about this? The poll at the top of the chat, if you guys haven't taken it yet, take the poll. Xbox placing ads in games. Is this okay? Yes, only if it's in free games. 40% have said that. 54% has said no, this is not okay ever. And then a couple of people have said yes, any game can do this. 6%. We have almost 200 votes. Make sure and cast your vote at the top of the chat. If you're on mobile, you can dismiss the poll if it's annoying. Just hit the 3 dots and dismiss it after you take it. Unjust Hero says, why not just use cosmetics for advertisements with other companies? Irene says Sony will do anything they can get away with and makes them money. Any company would. Maybe. It depends. If they feel like it's a breach of trust or it corrupts the games, I don't think they would do it. Their virtuous cycle could potentially be disrupted by this. I don't know if I'd be one to play Spider-Man and get like commercials. I mean, I guess they bake him into the real game, bake him into the radio show that he listens to. So it never had ads at all, says Butters. Then Facebook bought them and said, we're going to test ads. Outrage started, and so they backpedaled. It was tested for 2 weeks. So there was a game, they tested it, people got so angry they stopped. Omar says, Lono, I think you're right. There's a balance people are prepared for. I have no problem with DLC or in-game ads either. But when they are both stacked on top of each other, I start feeling like a sucker. Reese's Vid says, Sony has a patent for basically the same thing. Don't get me wrong. Sony will do whatever drives profit. But I wonder if they would hold off on this because of the virtuous cycle being and the trust being broken. Right? This just in, Hayden Christensen binged the Star Wars animated shows to prepare for Obi-Wan. We're in for a treat. We're in for a treat. Sidebar. I don't want to talk about that right now. If the Big Mad Mo says, if the ads are subtle like on billboards, I don't care. It won't affect me at all or the gameplay. Now, if they want to stop the game and do a commercial, that's a different story. Right. Are they going to be doing that? Are they going to be like, shoving a commercial in front of your face? Breaking. Amy Hennig, the creator of the Uncharted series, and her studio Skydance New Media are officially making a Star Wars game. All right. Brought to you by Pepsi. Legend Status says, I only said yes because it'll probably happen anyway. There's so much untapped real estate in gaming. I'm surprised it hasn't been done already. Transmissions from a Spaceboat says, I play a few free-to-play mobile games that have ads you can voluntarily watch for in-game rewards, premium currency, upgrade materials. That doesn't bother me because it's my choice. That's a whole nother thing they could start doing. Earn V-Bucks in Fortnite by watching an ad. Oh my goodness. Sony has a patent to stop the game and run commercials, don't they? Maybe. You know when I could see them using that, Mo? I'll tell you where they're going to use that. They're going to use that very, very soon. Stopping the game and running a commercial? They'll do that in the demos. Hey, you're playing this demo. You like it? You can buy the game. You have 20 minutes left. Okay, cool. And they'll probably be tasteful when they do it. You don't want to interrupt the boss fight or something, but I could see them being like, hey, you just finished this level. We're going to let you play the next level. You got 20 minutes left or whatever. If you want to buy the game, now's the time, And then stop you at the very end, obviously, and say, hey, your time is up. If you want to buy the game, it's $59.99. Demos already do that, but at the end of the demo. Sure, yeah. Mm-hmm. I remember playing demos all the time on my Xbox 360 with my wife. That's how we learned about Crimson Alliance. Crimson Alliance was such a good little dungeon crawler. Giving them a dozen ideas to run with. Oh, believe me, they've already got these ideas because these ideas are in the market. If an idea is in the market, they're aware of it. They'll put it in the game, Lono. They can do no wrong. Oh, I don't agree with that. Mo. As much as you like Microsoft, you said if they disrupt my game, As much as I like Sony, as much as people like Eugene like Sony, they're not going to put up with that crap disrupting my game unless it's a free-to-play game. Even if it's a free-to-play game, you don't want to disrupt the game. You got to go passive with it. D-Crucede says, what's the big deal with them doing this if it doesn't interrupt gameplay? Sports games advertise packs, Ubisoft advertises expansions, and Call of Duty advertises the Battle Pass. What's the big deal? This would be external advertisement. You're talking about like a Coca-Cola billboard or a McDonald's, banner rolling in the corner of a loading screen or something. It's a little bit different. Creature says they've already done it. What are you referring to that's already been done? Please let's not normalize ads in games. It doesn't help the customer. Oh, I'm not, Sauron, listen, I'm not normalizing it. It's already been normalized, bro. This is here. This is coming. If you're just tuning in, we cover a variety of gaming news topics here all throughout the week. This is a live stream, and we do live streams Monday through Friday. Be sure to hit subscribe. Subscribing's totally free, and that's how you talk in my chat. We run a subscriber chat, not a members chat. So feel free to hit subscribe, talk in chat. Take our poll. Let us know what you think of this Xbox Game Pass placing ads in your games. What's it mean? We're breaking it down. If you like my content and you haven't seen it in a while, always make sure to check your subscription feed or my channel. Certain channels aren't showing up in recommends right now. It's something that YouTube's working on. It's some feature got broken and they're trying to fix it. And so I might not be showing up in your recommends. So make sure and check your subscription feed and my channel. We're streaming every day. We did a show just this morning about the Elden Ring giant patch, and we're 10 subs away from a milestone. Don't you like EA FIFA games? No, I've never even played one. Pog the Gamer says, you don't need ads in your video games because that opens up a black hole for everything else. D-Crew says, what's the problem with that? We drive down a highway daily and see billboards that are advertisements. It's a normal implementation into our daily lives. I think it can get into the theater of the absurd, D-Crew. I think it can get into the theater of the absurd. I don't want a game to feel like a dadgum NASCAR. You see these guys in their NASCAR jackets. That's just accepted in that industry. But you understand that that's helping that guy race. That's helping that guy, be successful and do what he does. It's more personal, is it not? You get into the game and you're running around and they got a sticker on everything and a billboard on everything and a rolling banner. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that is going to happen, but I do think when people start to picture this, they picture the worst case scenario. They're like, wait a minute, you put ads in my games, what's that mean? While you're waiting to drop in Fortnite, have we told you about Geico? You can save 15% or more by switching to Geico. Get out of here. Billboards are something, but what if you go to start your car and you have to watch 2 minutes of ads before you can leave your parking space? Right. Some guy comes to the end of your driveway. Hey, buddy, I know you're running late for work, but I have to do a 2-minute commercial right now in this specific location, and you can't leave. Whoa, you ran over me. Creature says, I can tell you the problem with it. How long do you think it will take before one of the ads you get is a political ad or worse? I would say, I don't know if they would ever do that. Outriders has tweeted, join us April 21st at noon for the reveal of Outriders World Slayer. Okay. Retweet. Quote tweet. We will be covering this. 12 Eastern. Okay. That means we might have to try and cover the Tiny Tina's thing in the morning. Outriders World Slayer stream this week on Thursday the 21st. We'll definitely want to pay attention to that. Like these ads. Early voting has begun. Voteforchange.com. Wait, that was in a game? Like actual commercials? They can blank off, says Eugene. Yeah, I mean, that picture looks normal to me. It looks like a real picture of like an Obama ad in a video game. Obama campaign hits burnout paradise. Oh, it actually happened. Barack Obama's presidential campaign has taken to the streets of Burnout Paradise, filling the game with billboards promoting the presidential hopeful. Yeah, see, no. That is just... I don't know how well that went, but I can't see that going over very well. I can't see that going over very well. I don't see them ever allowing political ads in their game, says D-Crew. I do see them allowing other games to advertise, which I have no problem with. It doesn't interrupt gameplay. I hate ads, but it's part of our daily lives already. I would say that's an easy low-key rooting for Outriders. I'm rooting for Outriders too. It'd be a great game for us to play periodically. That would be a game kind of like Destiny, you know? Keep it healthy, keep it updated, do some seasons. We come back, we play, we loot, we laugh, we critique, and we move on. Like, I need them to fix the sound, though. The sound design in that game is just absolutely horrendous. Imagine if it was Trump. Imagine if it's any ad. Like, we don't need to start listing all of the politicians we either like or don't like for varying reasons. It doesn't matter who it is. Nobody wants to see that. It's not part of my daily life, says Creature. I spend to avoid it, which is exactly why it's coming to Game Pass. So Creature thinks this is a Game Pass issue. Game Pass creating this free-to-play culture, this non-spending culture, and they're needing to make the money, and that's how they're going to do it. They're going to do it with advertisements. That's what Creature thinks. Butter says, think of the risky reels on Fortnite just running ads non-stop, and you're trying to listen to footsteps. Yeah. They would. Yes, they would. It's the digital game casino company. Good luck, because they love gamers. Modern gaming can eat crap and die. Modern gaming is not that bad. Don't be all sky is falling on me. Omar says, I was an Obama supporter. I don't want to see his ads in my game. Yeah, even if you support the guy, you might be like, can you get out of here, Obama? You know? No. Someone needs to do this. You're playing a game, you're driving, and there's an Obama ad. And you're like, is that an Obama ad? Crunch. Oh, man. Thanks, Obama. That'd be perfect. That's it. That's so meta. That's the best joke I've ever crafted. That's it. That's the dunker. I spend to get Game Pass, so should I get ads? I literally pay for YouTube Premium to avoid ads. Yeah. Did you know that you can pay for a Reforge Gaming membership and see extra content? I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm trying to be self-aware enough at the absurdity of constantly doing an advertisement, like in games. You know, like every time you guys say something like, that's a really interesting point. Do you want to know what else is interesting? You can click the join button and become a Reforge Gaming member today. Gorthysa says, I wasn't present for a second. What did Obama do now? He existed, you know, just being black. That's like a thing, right? You know, everybody gets mad. No, he had ads in a game, right? Isn't that like a thing? Who did that skit? Was that Key and Peele being black? Was that them that did that? What are you doing? Nothing. Obama ruining time trials. That's right. Your live stream popped up in my YouTube feed. I figured I would let you know. Hey, we're getting back in people's feeds again. Yay. Ads are so bad, they are integrated in the show podcast, so you can't avoid them. That's right, Robert. That's right. On the loading screen after the car crash, have you or someone you love seriously injured in a car crash? Yes. You just died. Has anybody you known recently died? You're like, that's so morbid. You just got in a car crash. Has you or anybody you know been in a car crash? Yeah, attorney ads, nursing home ads, you know. You just hit an old person on the road. Do you know any old people in your life? The Outriders reveal event just got announced. Yeah. I retweeted it. We'll be covering it. Hey, I just see Andrew, hey buddy, I saw you just quit suddenly. Try some Rageless Roast to soothe those stressful gameplays. Sips coffee and smiles. Great match. We'd like to speak to you about your car's extended warranty. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, you get robbed in GTA when they go to that advance. What are those places called? Those cash advance places. Predatory garbage. Those places are awful. I noticed that they took the ad timestamps out of YouTube videos, so I don't know when they're coming anymore. Oh, did they really? Huh. JG Wentworth. It's my money and I want it now. If you guys are just tuning in, Xbox Game Pass placing ads in games. That's the topic. Take our poll at the top of the chat. What do you think of this? If you want to talk in the chat, you just got to be a subscriber. That's totally free. So you can subscribe for free and then talk in the chat. We do talk shows Monday through Friday. We had a lot of people say that I'm not showing up in their recommended feeds. If that's happening to you, be sure every day to check your subscription feed and then check my channel. If you like watching every day, that's going to be a really, really easy way to ensure that you don't miss the streams. We discovered what YouTube did, so we're kind of waiting for them to fix it. It's a bit of an annoyance, but they broke a feature because they're adding a new feature, and it's murdered metrics for a lot of channels. It's getting fixed, though. Do we know what kind of ads that would be on billboards or crappy mobile must-watch a video? Right. That's the thought, James, is are they going to start doing that? Like, imagine a free-to-play console game doing what they do with mobile games. You finish a level, and they're like, bloop, and then some ad pops up, and you're like, I can't do anything. It's like, play our game. It's like the little timer's going down. Play our game. I don't want to. That would be a modern X-Files episode. Some ad in a mobile game or a video game tells some kid to do something terrible, and he's like, okay, and he goes out and does something awful. I can see it. I can see it now. Totally a thing. Kill your neighbor. It's like, what did you say? Drink Coca-Cola. Kill your neighbor. What? And he does it. I wonder how it would work in relation to content creation. An ad coming up in my game will have a very different effect to the same ad coming up for Lyric when he's live streaming. Oh, right. I can definitely see the super depressing animal shelter ads playing in the arms of an angel when the puppy looking scared right before your mission in Monster Hunter. Yeah, anytime there's an animal and you pet it. Oh, man. So will Game Pass get Twitch ads now? Yeah, I don't know. The worst thing I have seen with ads is Words with Friends 2. They made a sequel, so you couldn't buy the ad-free version. Yeah, there's a couple games like that where like they just don't offer, they don't care. They're like, no, yeah, there is no bot version. No, just ads. They probably make way more money on the ads and the placement than if you just bought the game for $2. Put a life insurance ad in Elden Ring that procs when you die. That's great. I want to see that 18 times in a row. Sven says, are people expecting mid-roll ads that play on a Game Pass type game? Well, I think people are seeing it being a free game thing. So if you think about what they do in mobile games right now, there are plenty of mobile games you can download this instant, totally free. They have in-game app purchases, but it doesn't matter. If you don't spend a dime in the game, you're still going to get bombarded with advertisements. There was a game I was playing like that with my kiddos. I forget what it was called. Homescapes or something like that. And they liked the little puzzles and stuff, but then we were just constantly getting bombarded with ads and trying to get me to do their battle pass. And I just stopped playing it. I'm like, you know what? No, frick you. This is so disruptive and annoying. It was just some dumb little cute game we would play sometimes to pass the time. And I literally stopped playing it because it was just annoying. Gorthisis with the $5 tip. Enjoyed the discussions this morning. Bowing out to run errands and get some outside time since it's not raining today. Thank you for the $5 tip, Gorthisis. And Mile High coming in and doing the 4th new membership of today. We try to get 5 new members a day and 5 coffee orders a day. Thank you, Mile High. Enjoy the dope badge and emotes. You are dope and deserve dope stuff. Enjoy the extra content. We do offer members-only content now, but it does not take away from our normal content, okay? It doesn't take away. It's an extra stream on Thursday and an extra stream on Friday night. And this Friday night is community game night, so make sure you got Fortnite installed and updated. We'll be doing no-build squads, and we'll be drinking and laughing. Even if you don't like Fortnite, man, just get it installed. Come hang out. If you've never done a membership here before, we're finally given, content and reasons to click that button for the $5. I remember ads for Red Bull in the original Wipeout. Brutal says, Lono, free games for now, but we all know the end game is all games on Game Pass. It's a slow boil. I think most people would say, if I pay for the game, you better not be putting ads in it. That's what most folks would say. It would be like buying a TV series or a movie and still getting advertisements. I think that's what people would say. The product placement, I don't think anybody's going to care about, right? If you're walking around GTA 6 and there's a McDonald's billboard or a Coca-Cola billboard, I don't think anybody's going to care about that. Product placement is not the same as placing advertisements in the game. A banner scrolling on a load screen, a literal up-to-date advertisement. 2 for $1, Whoppers. Blah, and you're like, what the you know what I'm saying? If you buy the game at full price, I think plenty of people are like, no, absolutely not. You better not be putting ads in there. If you got product placement here and there that's contextual, that's one thing, but no. I think that's important to note, says Eugene. This would not be news if the thought was they're just going to do stuff we already used to. That's exactly right. Hey, my man, GC Plugs, hitting the join button. Welcome. It worked, chat. It worked. See, this is why Microsoft's doing it. Ad placement works. Enjoy the dope badge and emotes, GC Plugs. You're dope and deserve dope stuff. Enjoy the extra content as a member. We'll see you members for Thursday afternoon and Friday night. What am I eating? It's just a quesadilla. I find it funny that people whose profession, experience, knowledge, and grades somehow think they know better than the professionals that were chosen to come up with the Game Pass. I don't think people are saying they know better. I think they're saying there's a breaking point where this might work against the funnel. Abe says, let's keep the member train going. Oh, we do have a bit of a member train. We have 2 new members at the top of the chat. Let's keep membership up there at the top of the YouTube chat, man. Click the join button or type !join in the chat. Appreciate it. Long time coming, always lurking. I appreciate that, man. Thank you. Thank you. If we could get 500 members here and 500 members on the other channel, that'd be amazing. We would unlock emotes. It would be really, really helpful. Creature says, I don't know better. I have eyes. I think there's a breaking point where it becomes almost like a gimmick. So you get Game Pass and every game's got like this overlay or this banner or this baked in thing. And you're like, man, what the frick is this? Now, Microsoft is saying this in a way that makes it seem like, oh, an indie title could be approached by advertisers and get really good funding that would benefit them and the advertiser. So imagine like a little indie title being like, well, on our loading screens, yeah, we could throw this ad up there. Who cares? People are accustomed to seeing banner ads. People are accustomed to seeing, bumper ads. What's the big deal? And it helps funnel money to that indie title. Here's the thing. The indie title can do that now if it wants anyway. It seems like Microsoft's just going to be opening up a marketplace and saying, these are the companies that we're comfortable you doing this with on our platform, right? Because it wouldn't be cool to bake in an Amaranth OnlyFans ad in somebody's video game. Microsoft wouldn't be cool with that. She might be willing to pay a pretty penny, but they might be like, no, we don't want you doing that. So what Microsoft's going to do is they're going to establish a list of companies that you can do this with, and then they'll be the ones you could potentially get money from, right? And then that's where you could pick from if you're a small little indie company, and you could say, hey, we're trying to build this game, and we'd be happy to place ads, and you seem like a really good fit. You're on the list of Microsoft's approved advertisements. We want to stream. Here, let me help you out, bro. Let me help you out. That's a nice little big long paragraph that you typed that's now gone. Yo, somebody keeping the member train alive. Venomous Rat Zombie keeping the member train going. He's up there now with GC plugs. Enjoy the dope badge and emotes. You are dope and deserve dope stuff. Enjoy the extra content, man. We'll see you guys on Thursday afternoons and Friday nights. Again, make sure you got Fortnite installed and updated, even if you don't like it. It's going to be more fun if you don't like it. I am such a good salesman. Listen, even if you don't like it, it's going to be more fun if you don't like it, actually. If you hate Fortnite, this is the best thing to do right now, is to give me money if you hate Fortnite. Hey, what happened, says Mile High. I didn't want to give Lono my money, but I drank the coffee, and then I had an overwhelming urge to put my credit card information in. Yes, all according to plan. Cavish Herbungs says, put ads in Game Pass and incentivize people to upgrade the Game Pass Ultimate for an ad-free experience. Or you could say, what if they did this? Hey, you have the Game Pass version of the game that comes with ads. You can buy the full version of the game and the ads will go away. That could potentially fix one of the dilemmas that Game Pass brings, and that's that people don't buy the game directly, which can be, it's not always bad, but it can be bad for the developer. 6 months of membership from Captain Toasty Buns. I offer my renewal to supplement a new membership. Thank you for doing that, Captain Toasty Buns. A $10 tip from Just Barker. They're going to spread the ads to paid eventually. Nothing is free. This is just going to open the door via Game Pass. A lot of people think that, Just Barker. Thank you for the tip. That's an adorable picture, by the way, for your avatar. Yeah, a lot of people think that. A lot of folks think that. Eugene says, I'm a consumer. Nothing they've done is beneficial to my desire as a consumer. Game Pass is still better for the consumer than anything Sony is doing. Facts are facts. Maybe that's subjective to the consumer, though. I don't know if you can say it's facts. Because it's subjected to the consumer. Plenty of people. A friend of mine just got an Xbox Series X. He said he was randomly on Walmart and just got one. He said he couldn't believe it. I was like, I'm kind of surprised the scalpers didn't snag them yet. Maybe the demand for them have gone down, and so the scalpers don't want them. I don't know. But he got one, and he said that, he got on Game Pass, and he was like, it was great. For some people, yeah, it's fantastic. It is. It's really good for them. I'd rather see an increase in Game Pass. I'd rather see an increase in Game Pass cost to fix that rather than adding ads on a tier system. Yeah, but I don't think people would like that. Pricing going up is like a huge thing that it's like a huge customer. It's like what is that? It's like a customer stiff arm. Zubair says, I bet there are a bunch of consumers who would rather have more ads and less cash. Yeah. Open your box. You can be subjective to what you like. Open your box you live in. You can be subjective to what you like. $14.99 a month on the table. What does anyone else do for that price? I'll wait. Okay, hang on, Jake. You're getting into the batter's box, so get ready. I'm gonna take you down. You ready? Omar with a $5 tip. What about community dev relations? Once there are issues with the game or a bombardment of ads, it is inviting vitriol. This should still count for the train. Okay, that counts for the train. It does. The member train, tip train is still going. Thank you, Omar. All right, Jake. Here's the problem with what you're saying. Okay, it's still subjective to the consumer perceiving that as a value. There are plenty of people that would say, for $14.99 a month, I would prefer to save that and just buy individual titles rather than pay it and get this armada of games that I don't like. It's great that you see value in it. There are plenty of consumers that don't. Just like you might think Netflix is a steal and Hulu is a ripoff. And then the person next to you is like, are you kidding me? Netflix is a ripoff. Hulu is the steal. Hulu has all my shows. Like, it literally comes down to preference. You cannot, right? You cannot argue that as fact. I know you're talking to Eugene, but like, I'm here too. Am I allowed to be a part of, am I allowed to interject? Am I allowed to interject? After all, it is. I think it's my stream. I mean, I'm just interjecting. Like, I'm seeing an argument, and I'm saying, listen, what you're doing, I don't think is strong argumentation. You're acting as if your preference, your perceived value is fact, and it's not. I mean, listen, yeah, shut up, streamer. We're having a discussion here. I know you didn't mean it that way. Anyway. The fact of the matter is that Sony will soon have their own version of this, and then you're going to compare it again, and it's going to be subjective. I could see so many people saying that the demos that they get on Sony are way better than what they get on Microsoft, and I could see people saying the exact opposite, saying, well, no, demos are a ripoff. I get full games. Jake says anyone can do that, and that's fine. I'm just putting apples to apples. $14.99 a month. No one else provides the same thing. That's it. That's all I'm saying. Okay, sure. Yes. Nobody else offers the same thing. But the way it was stated before didn't necessarily come off that way. I mean, what point are we making? I mean, nobody else. No. Sony. When Sony's go live, is it June? Sony's thing goes live in June, I think. So your statement's only true for a couple more months, right? Omar, shut up, Lono. Anbu says it's not really 14 though, is it? It's like 8 and it covers gold too, unless you're telling me that PlayStation's recently allowed everybody to play online with each other for free. Well, the Sony one's Sony's baking it in. Sony's taking the pay to be online, pay to get games or whatever, and they're baking it into one plan. That's what they're doing. If you guys are enjoying this show, let's try to hit 200 likes before we get the 1 hour mark. Let's try. We started out strong for our second talk show. Let's keep that going. Let's keep it going. What happened to Microsoft lowering the cost or paying the gaming developer more money? When did ads become my option to help the developer? Eugene says, no, not after the travesty of hardware of the 360, and then I watched the entire 1X generation, not a single game I wanted beside Gears 5. Game Pass does that too already. I think we're passing in the night, Anbu. what I'm trying to drive home is, let's just kind of go back a little bit because I think we're getting confused. He made it sound as if this is the greatest value, this is the only thing that has this is the only way you can get this, okay? And we were saying, well, it's not the greatest value, it's the greatest value to you. And then he kind of said, well, they're the only ones that offer it. Okay, that's true right now. And I said, in like 2 months, Sony's going to have a comparable, almost identical offer. It's going to be very, very similar. Here's a bunch of games you get just automatically. Here's new games every month. Here's demos every month. Like, it's essentially the same thing. You know, Mo's in chat being Mo and saying Sony's plan is crap, but why? Just because you don't get first parties day and date? Like, they're doing demos instead of that because they want to respect the virtuous cycle and help their developers grow? Because selling games at full price is better for the developer relationship and profit margins so they can expand and increase their bandwidth and make higher quality games in the future because it's investment in quality and not an investment in a short-term gain. Vengeance with a $10 tip. For the low price of $5 a month, you too can have a dope badge and emotes. Also, I stand with Mo. Of course you would. You got me to read that whole thing and then you tack that on at the end. The difference is Sony has better titles. According to you. That's subjective on the Sony side. Creature says this was all part of the plan. Lamau, Eugene and I told you this was coming in some shape or form or fashion. Game Pass isn't and can't be sustainable. Eugene says, because I'm a Microsoft consumer, I'm not anymore. Oh, I was a Microsoft consumer. I'm not anymore, and I keep waiting on a reason to be one again, and I've yet to be convinced as a consumer that spends thousands a year. Virtuous cycle is BS speak. Why is it BS speak, though? You got to argue as to why. He's literally pointing to companies that they have helped grow. Has 343 grown? No. 343 has shrunk. 343 has had to call in another company to help them build a game mode. Has Rare expanded or shrunk? Like, it's not BS speak. It's a different business model. The business model of Sony has led to their developers growing and their sequels being very successful. So where is the problem? Where's the problem? Where is the consumer getting shortchanged? That's my question. We got really, really good games, and the developers grew and made more really, really good games. So is it bad for me because I have to spend full price? You're not making... I've never seen anybody make the point where the virtuous cycle that Sony talked about is somehow bad for who? Who's it bad for? The developers got more money, they grew, they expanded, they're now larger, they can make better games, which means crunch culture is probably going down, and then I get more value the next time I buy their game. So the value that I got in Horizon Forbidden West surpassed the value of Horizon Zero Dawn, and I spent the same amount of money. Right? That was aimed at Lono. Yeah, you're a stowaway. The adults are talking. There you go. What's your source for Game Pass placing ads in games? The Verge article you talked about clearly says free to play games, not Game Pass. Tabasco Cat, people in chat are assuming and I think creating in their mind a trajectory where they will be putting games ads in Game Pass games. They will experiment with free to play games, see how it goes, and then they'll do it with Game Pass games. Game Pass is so bad or not sustainable, then why is Sony desperately trying to copy what they have? What about Sony makes them look desperate? I don't understand. What about Sony looks desperate? What? Them adding a subscription service that's more in line with what the industry has right now. There's a lot of subscription services out there. They update their subscription service, make it similar to Game Pass but different. What about that looks desperate? I don't understand. It's another company doing something that other companies are doing. Was Fortnite desperate when they copied some of the really good things that Apex Legends brought to Battle Royale? Do you think Fortnite was desperately trying to copy Apex Legends? Or were they saying, hey, that's pretty good. We're going to take that. We're in the lead after all. Why would we not? Is it desperate when industry leaders mimic the competition? Creature says, go read your Game Pass sub. For a bunch of people seeking truth and facts, a lot here just ignore them and speak from emotion and not reason, says Eugene. If you're paying for a service, then what you get with that service is not free. Creature says, take the misleading and untrue part up with who wrote it. I'm not... Oh, with The Verge? They put loot boxes in single-player RPGs. It's not far-fetched to think this will infect all of Game Pass. Says Brutal. Would they be trying to copy Game Pass because it's good or good for consumers or because it can yield more profit? Right, like... It stands to reason that they looked at the market and said, yeah, we can do something similar to Game Pass, and guess what? If we do demos, we're going to increase our first-party sales by this percentage. Why? Well, because the forecast and the market research shows that if people get to try a game like this, they're going to want to keep playing. They're going to want to do another one. Miles Morales is proof of that. How many people played Spider-Man and just automatically bought Miles Morales? Think about what that communicates to Sony. Think about what that communicates to Sony. All it took, the number of people who owned the first Spider-Man and also then bought Miles Morales is probably a really, really high percentage point. The speed at which they bought it, right? All of that. They probably analyzed that data and said, man, the demo format would work beautifully here because all they had to do was play Spider-Man and they bought Miles, which means all they have to do is play these games and they'll buy. So give them a demo. Yeah. Go ahead, man. Play God of War Ragnarok for an hour. Go for it. There you go. Get a taste. Get invested. It's not desperately copying Microsoft. It's saying there's money on the table. Creature says, where are my lawyers? One of you can explain corporate speak to this bunch. Creature says, true or false? If I'm a Game Pass sub, I get to play a crap ton of games I've never heard of for free. That's 100% true. Therefore, they are free to play as long as I'm a Game Pass sub. And then Anbu says, no, not true. You're paying for that service. Can you play those games without that service? If the answer is no, but Anbu, you're not disagreeing with what he said. He literally said, as long as you're on the service, they're free to play games. He didn't say anything that wasn't logically sound. He didn't say Game Pass was free. He said, these games are free to play as long as you're on this service. What it does is it immediately converts an entire library into free to play. Think of it this way. Imagine going to Dave & Buster's, okay? And you can go up to all the individual games and pay to play all of them. Or Dave & Buster's says, you know what you can do? Every game behind me is free to play if you become a Dave & Buster's subscriber. You pay this amount of money a month, you can come in here as many times as you want, and all that stuff behind me is free to play. So no one's saying it's free. You guys keep saying it's not free then, it's not free then. No one is arguing that. You honestly sound silly by saying that over and over. There's nobody arguing that it's free. They're saying it's converting all those games into free-to-play, which then puts them into the free-to-play culture. And the free-to-play culture is rife with lots of monetization and the potential of, now, ads being in your game. So no one is saying it's free. Nobody here with a shred of credibility is trying to say that Game Pass is free. They're saying It's essentially free because you're already paying to be online anyway with with Gold. You upgrade for a couple dollars a month, and you get all these games for free. They're all free to play as soon as you're on that. As soon as you're on that funnel, it's so cheap. Listen, I've praised the value of Game Pass before. It is literally the greatest game to dollar value out there. It's just ridiculous. It's unbelievable what they give you. A game becomes free to play because it's on Game Pass. 99% of the games don't follow a free to play model. Okay, and now you're on the train tracks, Paul. What we're saying is that will change or is going to change. A lot of more games are going to throw themselves into Game Pass on the free-to-play model and consider themselves free-to-play. Why? Because that's where the bulk of their consumers will come from. And how are they going to recoup cost? Through the money paid by Microsoft on the Game Pass deal and by placing advertisements in their game. You're going to be getting hit from both sides. Like, they're going to be making money because Game Pass wrote them a check, and then they'll throw ads into the game. Like that, like think about like what if Outriders would have done that, right? They could have recouped some of their costs by having ads literally in the video game. Nobody is saying that Game Pass is free, and nobody is saying this is automatically going to happen. What they're saying is that this is a very likely outcome. They'll put this on a couple of free games, test it, and then they'll just shove it into Game Pass games. Creature says, I'm telling you, the Microsoft lawyers have worded this in a way that games on Game Pass can technically be considered free to play. Oh, wait. So what you're saying, Creature, is you're saying they worded this very carefully and they consider Game Pass games free to play, which means they'll pump ads into these things right away. Is that the logic of your argument, Creature? This feels a lot like winning games. A little bit. I'm confused, says Sauron. How is it now that these game developer companies are having money issues when in the 80s, 90s, early 2000s, we never heard about game companies not being able to make money? Sauron, with respect, this is going to sound like I'm being mean to you, and I'm not being mean to you. You're not paying attention. If you're like, how is this suddenly a problem? It's not suddenly a problem. This has been reported on 10 times over for the last 5 to 7 years, that game companies and margins, it's an unsustainable market. It's an unsustainable business. There's books written on this. I don't want that to sound like I'm being mean. There are plenty of gamers who have no frickin' clue this is a reality. If you think this is a new problem, you haven't been paying attention. Game companies and developers are shutting down left and right for the last 5 to 7 years. It's a very difficult market to get into. It's like trying to start a restaurant, right? That's one of the other businesses that's incredibly hard to do. Margins are razor thin. You don't make any money for the first 3 years. Like, video games are their own animal. Their production costs have skyrocketed. Their budgets are massive. And so what do they got to do? Well, they go hat in hand to a publisher. Publisher's like, fine, we'll write a fat check. But then what's the publisher do? Well, the publisher has a fiduciary duty to the shareholders to increase margins and increase profit and increase share value. So they put pressure on the developer to get the game out in a certain timeline. Well, what that does is it creates an unhealthy work environment on the developer, and this is where crunch has come from. Crunch drives the quality of the games down. And as the quality of the games drive down, games end up launching less and less prepared for market. They launch less and less prepared for market, creating cynicism and criticism from the game community, and they feel like they're getting ripped off. The entire time this is happening, these game companies and the publishers are barely making their money back, barely making margins, unless you're a major giant AAA title that just sells like hotcakes. This has absolutely been a problem in the industry for the past 5 to 7 years. Why do you think the consistent theme of games for the past couple of years is the bigger the game, the bigger the fall, the bigger the game, the bigger the fail, the bigger the game, they just don't launch right? This is why. The industry's sick. It doesn't work. It's bloated, and they're finding any way they possibly can to squeeze nickels out of you. That's all they're trying to do. They're just trying to squeeze nickels out of you because they need it. Like, there absolutely is trends in the market that are incredibly unhealthy. Now, this doesn't mean every game. Like, you look at games like Call of Duty and they're printing money. You look at games like Fortnite. You know, there are games that tip over into the stratosphere. But so many of these game companies are like, it costs us this much to make the game. this is our forecast. We might make this much money. If we're lucky. If everything goes according to plan. So a lot of the bigger companies now are looking at that. Well, how can we do microtransactions? How can we make money? How can we there we go. Like I got these strings on my pants. A lot of people are looking at that and saying, how can we make more money? How can we monetize the game to a degree where we're profitable? And I think that we've interpreted a lot of this and said, well, this is just them being money hungry. This is just grubby and dirty and grimy. It's like there are times where that's probably true. Okay, 100%. There are people that would think that. But I'm sorry, there are people in companies that are doing that. But there are plenty of companies that are like, man, we don't have a choice, bro. We don't have a choice. This guy said a rainbow on a microphone. They're talking about Christian issues and a complete lack of self-awareness on display. A rainbow on a microphone? Oh, my logo on Reforge Radio. Oh, I can't be a Christian and have I can't have a radio on my logo. Wow. Pharisees in 2022. Semantics and the precision of words do matter in this case. Yeah, I think Creature might be onto something. Has to be a joke. Yeah. The inspiration of the the Reforge Radio microphone is literally old classic network logos like NBC. Not more Christianity for you, buddy. Your logo is gay. Oh, man. Oh, that was good. I saw it, and as I read it, it got funnier. Yeah, someone's saying that my microphone's LGBT. Yeah. The microphone on Reforge Radio. That's good. That's a new one. It would be really judgmental and ironically self-righteous to do this, but I would love to do a segment called Stupid Christians, because that guy would make the list. I'm not going to do it because God hates pride, and that would be prideful and judgmental. But man, would I enjoy it for a little while. Oh, man. He probably typed that from free Wi-Fi on Christ Air. Okay, Sven. That was very well executed callback. That was very good. Jake says, but boy, oh boy, it's needed these days. Reese's vid says there's no official statement, so Creature isn't on to anything. These are reports from insiders, not lawyers making sure an official statement is worded carefully. Well, let me read Microsoft's response then. Let's be accurate in our reporting. Hang on, because Microsoft did say something. Microsoft did say something. Let's read their response. We are always looking for ways to improve the experience for players and developers, but we don't have anything further to share. Okay, so Creature is speculating that if they say, oh, if these insiders are correct, and they say, let's add all of our caveats here. Let's add all of our caveats. If they come out and say, we are only going to be doing this in free-to-play games, it would make perfectly good sense to say they might interpret all their Game Pass games then as free-to-play. This guy says that game is done. Done? It isn't a live service game. Plenty of games drop super low and then do DLC. Outriders can't be done. It's not a live service game. They can just suddenly decide to launch a bunch of stuff and a bunch of people will come back. I'm still disappointed Lono didn't let Creature put Christ Air in yesterday's title. No, he wanted it on the thumbnail. If you guys are new and just tuning in, to clarify what in the frick's going on, we have another channel called Reforge Radio. And we talk about more serious issues over there. Politics, culture, faith, religion. Yesterday we talked about the viral video of the Christians singing on the airplane, okay? We're joking because some guy left a funny comment. We don't talk about that stuff over here, okay? This is gaming. Reforge Radio is for all the other stuff. If you want to check out Reforge Radio, it's just like this channel, youtube.com/Reforge Radio. This channel is youtube.com/Reforge Gaming, okay? We got multiple channels, multiple different types of content. And we are looking into simulcasting all of our talk shows and all of our content over on TikTok. I know TikTok seems like a bizarre place to do live streaming, but it's actually seeing a very sharp increase in live stream activity and viewership, and we could be one of the very few high-quality streams over there. We need about 140 more followers over there. Reforge TV is the account to follow. There's a guy over there doing impersonation like Reforge TV 1. You can just report that account for, harassment and impersonation. But at Reforge TV with the microphone and all that, just go follow us there. We got like 850 followers. We're trying to get to 1,000 to unlock live streaming. I swear, if once we get to 1,000, I won't mention going over there and follow me anymore. That's all we're trying to do. We want to unlock that feature to try it out. Why calling it free to play is wrong. You either have to pay for the game or pay for a subscription. Free to play is defined as relating to or denoting an arrangement in which basic access to a game is granted without charge while more advanced features must be paid for. You aren't having free then paying for more advanced features. You pay regardless. I don't know. I don't know, Akuta Papa. I think Creature's theory is sound because of how these games could be potentially classified. They could be potentially classified as like quote unquote free to play, and then they shove ads into them. Those Paramount Plus ads make me cranky. I really like the Paramount Plus ads for the new Star Trek show. I'm really looking forward to that. My wife and I are going to be able to watch that in like a year when we're done with the Next Generation and all the movies and everything else. When do you watch the movies, by the way? We're in the mid. We just started season 3. I wonder when you're supposed to watch the movies. Prime has ads. Paramount Plus has ads. Pre-rolls on paid services, says Eugene. Yeah, Eugene, we're on Paramount Plus, and it's literally putting ads for their other shows before we watch Star Trek. Now, does that go away once we're out of our free trial? I think we're out of our free trial by now. I thought that was just going to go away once we rolled over and got billed, or does it do that every time? Why does it matter what they call them? I think it's important because if they come out and say, hey, we're only going to do this in free-to-play games, and then they kind of like, in the TOS say, we consider all Game Pass games free-to-play. Do you see what I'm saying? Have fun with the Halo TV show. I'm not going to be watching that. And no, I haven't got a chance to watch the new Batman movie. Eugene says, I can 100% see them saying you aren't paying for those games, you're paying for this service to access those games. As a result, we will insert those ads into these free games. Right. It doesn't go away. I've had Paramount for a year. It's not that annoying. I mean, it's only 30 seconds, and it's only at the beginning of the episode, so it's kind of annoying, but it's not that much. Okay. However, listen to what Eugene is saying. I think there's some sound reason here. I'm not anti-Microsoft, by the way. We're not trying to act like Microsoft's going to be the devil and is going to rip you off. But it's something to consider, okay? Just consider with me for a moment them saying you're not paying for those particular games. You are paying for Game Pass, okay? And those particular games are available at intervals and rotations. So you are not paying for that individual game. You're paying us, okay? And so they might say any game that falls under the free-to-play or free on Game Pass umbrella will receive advertisements in their games. They might slice it that way. Creature says, because you are not paying for the titles with Game Pass, you are paying for access to the library. I know it might sound like they're being pedantic and splitting hairs, but I think it's incredibly important to note. You are not paying for those games. They're not saying it's free. They're saying, yes, you are paying. However, the classification of those games is that you didn't pay for them. That's what they're saying. I'm not even saying that they're right. I'm trying to represent their argument the best. I don't actually agree with them. I think Microsoft will come out and say, all free-to-play games now have the option of inserting advertisements from this list of approved advertisers. We will not be doing that on Game Pass at this time. I don't think they're going to immediately shove this into Game Pass. I think they eventually will. I don't think they're going to do it under the guise of free-to-play. I don't. So I don't fully agree with Creature and Eugene, but I think their argument is sound. I think it's a sound argument that, like, look, you're not paying for those games. You're paying for Game Pass. And Game Pass comes with 1,000 different benefits. And one of those benefits is a bunch of free-to-play games. What does it even say when you go to install it? What's it say? That's the real kicker. What's the phrase on the UI and the menu system right now? Somebody boot up your Xbox and get me a screenshot. I want to know. We are doing so well. This is so bizarre. You guys have been awesome today. Like, YouTube's still being dumb, but you guys are being awesome. As usual. What do you want, sorry? I want to know what it says when you go to Game Pass and it says you own this game. It says you own it. It says included in Game Pass. Okay. So the word free never shows up. Okay. Is the music on Apple free? Right, I get where you're going, Zubair. Is watching Queen's Gambit free on Netflix? Yeah. Thanks, Lono. I needed that today. Where are those likes? We shot out of a cannon for the first 37 minutes with this topic, and we were great. We stayed on topic. We were debating. We were doing awesome, and YouTube's just fumbling the ball again. You guys aren't. You guys are being great. Creature says you do not have to buy games to keep playing them after it leaves Game Pass. Yeah, you don't own it. Yeah, that's silly phrasing. You do not own it. That's really dumb. You own this. No, you don't. Okay. You want to get specific? You want to get rigid and tell Creature and Eugene that they're being pedantic and that it's not actually free because you're paying for Game Pass? Well, guess what? You don't own that game, and that's exactly what the UI says. It says you own this. No, you don't. You don't own that at all. Do you own a rental? Do you own a rental from Hertz when you rent a car? No. You're borrowing it. You're paying a fee, and you can drive that car as much as your dadgum please, man. It's amazing that says that. You own this. It says included in Game Pass, but if you download it, it says you own it. I've had to pay for a game when it has left Game Pass. Install, included with Game Pass, or play with cloud gaming. So yeah, it says install, included with Game Pass, or it says play with cloud gaming. And then it says, or buy to own. Yeah, they have to update that UI. Once you install it, it should not say you own this. It should say you own this asterisk or something, like you this is installed as long as you're on Game Pass or whatever. After that, it says installed. Wait, so it doesn't say you own this? I've literally seen it say this. I think my guy is not literally saying he owns it. He's reiterating what the message is saying to him. No, I understand what he was saying, Anbu. And I was saying, if you're going to be super rigid and say that, like, Creature and not you, Anbu, but anybody disagreeing with them, if you're gonna say that they can't say it's free or whatever, it's like, well, they're using really weird phrasing, like once it's installed you own it. No, you don't. No, it doesn't. It says install. Well, where does it say you own this? Or is that somebody misreading their own menu? Game Pass probably grants you temporary license that are the same as owning it until it's not on there anymore. So when it's on Game Pass, you're getting a temporary license. Once it's removed from Game Pass, you have to personally purchase a license for the game even if it's installed. Invisible Mail says, sorry for the caps, no worries. It's only playable if you have Game Pass or if you buy the game thereafter. If you leave Game Pass and don't buy the game, it becomes locked again. Sven's screenshot literally says owned. It literally says owned. These are pics from my Game Pass. Yeah, Sven has a screenshot that says owned. They just need to update their UI. Here, I'll show you. I'm not making stuff up. Creature says, pay to play definition. Sometimes pay for play or pay to play is a phrase used for a variety. Oh no, this is a coup de papa. For a variety of situations in which money is exchanged for services or the privilege to engage with certain activities. The common denominator for all forms of pay to play is that one must pay to get in the game, which the sports analogy frequently arising. Creature says, my point is Microsoft's legal team, which is more than likely hundreds deep, used that phrasing for a reason. Even the Xbot lawyers would agree with that. What phrasing are you talking about, Creature? Because Microsoft hasn't said anything specifically about this. What phrasing are you referring to? Like, if you're going to be specific here, okay, he's got games installed that I'm assuming. Do you not own Outriders, Sven? Is it safe to assume you just got that on Game Pass? Poor Outriders. You own it. What do you not own on this screen? The ones that don't say owned. Wait, I thought you literally took this picture and said it says owned on Game Pass games that I've installed. So is this your installed stuff? If you own it, it tells you that you purchased, even if it's on Game Pass. It literally says owned. These are pics from my Game Pass. I'm confused by what you said in the Discord, though, Sven. You said, bruh, it literally says owned. These are picks from my Game Pass. I thought you were countering Fallout and Mordor. I can't see Fallout and Mordor on this. Is this Mordor up here in the corner? Up in the right corner? The debate was that Game Pass doesn't tell you what you own. Was it not? Sven, I think we're having trouble to communicate here. Are there any games on this screen that say owned that you only got through Game Pass? That's what I thought you were showing me a picture of. I think I misunderstood when you showed the picture. No, it will say installed if it's installed in your Xbox. Otherwise, no, it will not show you a tag on the thumbnail. Okay. Well, then this is totally fine. I misunderstood. I thought it said you own this. I'm like, they're going to have to update that UI because that's not accurate. You don't own those games. You have them on Game Pass. I misunderstood you when you posted the picture. I was like, hey, give me a picture. What does it say? And you threw it in there and says, oh, it says owned. And I was like, what? No. If you don't know, it'll be installed. So No Man's Sky, for example, I'd assume. No, I think he owns it. He bought it. It will show owned or installed. Otherwise, it's a normal thumbnail. Eugene says, I didn't mean to imply it would be implemented immediately upon rollout. It will happen over time, and that will be their PR spin. So Eugene's saying, listen, their PR spin on this is going to be that those are not traditionally purchased games. They're free to play and free to access with Game Pass. Like, that's his prediction. Right? That's his prediction. We're going full tinfoil hat on this. No, I don't think that's a tinfoil hat at all. I think that's a very, very logical and economic and corporate way of thinking about it, right? It's an assumption based on no factual evidence to back it up. If an assumption was based on factual evidence, would it be an assumption? Wouldn't it? It would be a deduction, D-Crucides. Like, you're not... That doesn't feel like you're saying anything that's worth saying. Yeah, that's literally what an assumption is. A deduction is what's based on factual evidence. You look at the evidence and you deduce, or maybe if the evidence is tenuous, you would say that you infer. There's deduce, there's infer, there's assume. Of course it's not based on factual evidence. They're saying, listen, it stands to reason if they start putting ads in games and it's working and it's generating money, they're going to shove it in Game Pass games. Why? Because Game Pass is their big, giant customer funnel that they're trying to grow. Why would they not put it in more places and make more money if it's passive and not disruptive? Imagine with me for a second that this goes off really, really well, okay? Just put down your Microsoft can do no wrong, just put that down for a second. You love Xbox and have an Xbox tattoo and, Phil Spencer's your daddy, okay? Great. Just stop for a minute. Imagine that this goes really, really well, and the consumer feedback is, it's not really a big deal. It's not that disruptive. They see that it doesn't affect game reception. They see that it doesn't affect game reviews, okay? If it works well, do you really think Microsoft's going to be like, well, let's just keep it in those couple of games? No. They'll put it in other places. They'll put it in other games. If it works well, they'll test it. They'll do it. They'll let some free-to-play games do it. It'll generate money for the free-to-play game. It'll generate money for the advertiser. Everybody kind of wins. And then Microsoft gets to sit back and collect data and info and be like, all right, how'd that go? What were the player numbers like? What was the adoption level like? What was the exodus number like? How did the game perform? What was the daily return user number? I'm not pro either side. I'm trying to call it how I see it. I've got it all. I mean, I do have double sleeve tattoos, but none of them are Microsoft related, all military. You get what I'm saying though, right, D-Crew? If this goes off well, do you expect any company with the sense of a goose to be like, no, we're not going to put this in more places if they can make money from it? Think about it. McDonald's says, hey, that went really well in that one game. We would like to be in more games. We think that'd be great. Because think about it. Microsoft's going to establish a relationship with approved companies, with games, with companies that they think will fit well with their audience. These are the companies that are approved. If you want to start putting advertisements in your free-to-play game, you can pick from these from this list. And if that goes well, buddy, those advertisers are going to be like, hey, we would love to be in more places, Microsoft. What do you think? What do you think? Let's try it in a couple more games. Let's put it on your Game Pass games. Those they're not purchasing those games. That's not going to disrupt customer trust as long as it's, as long as it's mere, as long as it's like off to the side. You're going to have McDonald's and Coca-Cola and these big companies or big gaming companies, Activision, Epic, whoever, trying to promote their game, promote their product, promote their stuff, saying, hey, we're willing to pay a lot of money. It's worked really well on YouTube. We know what ads work well on YouTube gaming channels, so we already have great data on what advertisements will play well, in what games, and in what demographics. Let's go to work. Let's go to work, Microsoft. You don't think that's going to happen? I think you're kidding yourself if you think that's not a likely outcome of this. I'm not saying it will. I'm just saying I think it's a fair assumption that, yeah, it's going to end up in a lot of places if it works well. There was a Burger King game on the 360 back in the day. Oh, was there? Outriders was the one outlier, and their publisher screwed them, and now they send to blame Game Pass. Well, now that Outriders? I mean, I don't think Outriders is the outlier. I think Mo, let's keep track of how many more AAA titles that Game Pass gets that aren't first party. Let's keep track. I think it'll be really easy. You might need a post-it note, maybe a stamp to write it down. I don't think there will be very many. I do not think there will be very many third-party AAA games landing on Game Pass in the near future, or really ever again, unless the publishers decide to do it and screw the devs, which again, I think that's a short road. I think that's a real short road. I think a lot of people are going to look what happened with People Can Fly and be like, I don't know if that's a good relationship. I don't know if that's good for the bottom line. Microsoft's going to have to write a fat check if we're going to go through that. So my neutral view, says Zubair, Microsoft is selling Game Pass as a great value. They will need to cater to that audience. That audience will tolerate a certain amount of extra monetization. Microsoft will push right up to that line. Yeah. No, that's exactly right. They'll just keep a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more. You guys still comfortable? You still good? How are the numbers holding, Dave? Numbers are holding? All right, let's add a little bit more, add a little bit more, add a little bit more. Oh, they didn't like that. Dial it back, They won't and don't need to engage 100 lawyers to trick the public into accepting it. They're offering a simple equation. You get all of this for this money a month. Right. Eugene says, I worry about the culture that creates and the negative impact on the industry as a whole. How do you include subtle advertising to pre-existing free-to-play games? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if they'll start going back and saying, hey, we're going to throw this into other games. Yeah, I don't know about that. I really don't. That's a different animal. I think that's a different animal entirely. To go back into an existing game and start shoving stuff into it, I don't think that's quite the same as saying, hey, this brand new free-to-play game, we decided to put some advertisement in it. And again, it's a free-to-play game, so it's hard to be like, hey, how dare you? Sony will do the same thing if they can get away with it. And I think that's what people don't realize. Like, I'm not sitting here saying Sony will never do this, Microsoft's the devil. I'm saying this is the beginning of a change in the industry. This is the beginning of a change. If Microsoft can pull this off and it works well, don't kid yourself. It will impact the industry. It will. You will see other free-to-play games in other markets on other platforms do the same thing. Zero doubt in my mind. Sony's not immune to this. Do you want to know why? Because they're all trying to make money. That's what we've been trying to say, is like, this isn't about the purity of a platform or the purity of Game Pass or, you know, how good looking Phil Spencer is. This is about, if this works, more people are going to do it. They want to make money. I think there's a difference between the Sony audience and the Microsoft audience. Creature says the entire industry will do it if it works, which is why it can't be allowed to happen. That's my point, says Creature. Sony fans still buying physical. That blows my mind, by the way, Eugene. Those numbers in the UK of how many physical copies people were buying. Insomniac Black with a $5 tip. I can see it now. You die in a video game and a pop-up starts talking to you. Have you heard about our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ? They'll do really big mega churches will do like targeted ads. Services at 9 and 11 on Sunday mornings. Come and worship the Lord with us. That would... I'm sorry, that's almost creepy. I don't like that. That feels like something out of some weird dystopian post-apocalyptic movie where like somebody's TV's on and that's like playing on loop. Like, remember that? Remember when they started putting advertisements in video games? Yeah, man. Soon they were putting political ads in. Then the churches. Then the cults. Oh, man. That started the war. That started the war. Tommy says, I'll take free to play with ads over free to play with pay to win. Yeah, I could see that. I could see people saying, look, man, I don't mind this at all. I don't mind this at all. It's free to play game. I don't care if there's some banners or billboards here or there. That doesn't bother me at all. Who cares? You know? You can see it on the screen. Vote for your local congressman today. That's right. That's right. That's just what we need. That's just what we need. We need political ads in games. We need more of that, please. Please no. Excuse me. Just wait until the beaver ads talking about how they're superior because they can eat off their tummy. Imagine you scrape together cash for a Series S, hop on the Game Pass free tier, which is ad supported. That's really going to be attractive for some. Not for me, though. I'm a snob. Oh, you think there could be like an ad level where everything's free? And it's just nothing but ads. Like the gameplay is like this big on the screen. Like, well, I'm dirt poor, but I'm still playing video games. We can all agree Summer Games Fest has the potential to be awesome. Has Jeff announced the dates yet? People will care if the ads take the form of unskippable timed segments. Like if you're in a queue for a match, but you have to wait 15 seconds for an ad break before you match. Last thing I want is a G Fuel watermark over my name. Like that would be the comedic bit, right? You go to play some racing game or some sports game. Like, here comes our next racer. I'm going out now. Sponsored by, and then all of a sudden these generic words start getting entered. Sponsored by Kellogg's, Coca-Cola, McDonald's, Facebook, and they're just like sticking stickers to your car and your jacket. Like, I didn't approve of this. What is this? What are they doing to my character? And they do the same thing in like a shooter. They start slapping stickers all over your character. Don't like it? All right, well, I mean, you're currently sponsored by Mountain Dew. If you don't like it, you got to spend a little cheddar and upgrade to being sponsored by, Coke instead. Like, there's tiers of sponsorship. The brilliance of this, right? Call of Duty. Your character's sponsored by Bratz Dolls. Like, what the No, I don't want to be sponsored by Bratz Dolls. No worry. For the small fee of $5 a month, you can be sponsored by My Little Pony. Well, what that? I mean, it's a little bit better, but no, I don't want to be sponsored by My Little Pony. Don't worry. For $10 a month, you can be sponsored by Transformers. Okay, this is actually pretty cool. I think I'll take that. Like, they intentionally pit the core audience against the advertisements, right? So you're like, I don't want to be sponsored by Barbie or Cabbage Patch Kids, but all right, fine. Jurassic Park action figures, that's whatever. Fine, I'll settle for that. How much does that cost? So in Halo, you have to pay for the color blue, and they're going to stick the golden arches on your back. Yeah, Hilly, did you see? I put the golden arches in the thumbnail. It was real subtle. I put it on. I put it on Master Chief's face. Put it on Master Chief's face, dude. Sponsored by Manscaped. That's right. A new way to sell the game. Buy the one you want to be sponsored by. Yeah. From Games make the real end boss ads for Barbie's new album or cover songs. You'll look now. Here. Nobody really noticed it. Nobody noticed it. I was so subtle. I was like, I don't want to do like the Uber. I don't want to do the Uber clickbait thing. Here, I'm gonna open it in the browser so you guys can see it full. Hang on. Where is it? Here we go. Open original. There we go. Hang on. Do you see? Nobody even caught it, dude. It's like, M is for Master Chief. And also McDonald's. Imagine they finally take his helmet off, and out comes Ronald McDonald. Ads have been in games for years, i.e. Splinter Cell made us use a Sony Ericsson. Well, like, the thing is product placement's not like a big deal. Like, I think there is a big difference between product placement and an advertisement. You know what I mean? imagine watching a TV show and someone's blatantly using an Apple computer or something. That's not the same as a banner across the bottom of the screen promoting the latest Apple phone or something. When it's blown up, but a small thumb on YouTube, it's subtle. Yeah, I went for subtle. I did. I went for subtle because I didn't want to be obnoxious with it. And I don't know. I try to avoid some of the clickbait tropes of YouTube. You know, you got to be a little clickbait. I try to be I try to be as clickbait as I can stomach. You know, it's like I basically asked the question: would I click on this video? Product placement is better when done well, when they have whole scenes added to the show and stuff. Mo says it's still an ad. Yeah, but it's not the same though, Mo. There's a giant difference between, did you guys see that? He's using that Sony Ericsson phone. That's not the same as an advertisement. Like an advertisement literally is an image or moving image or video that is actively promoting a product. You know, passive placement in a scene, you could really strain the definition and say it's technically an advertisement because it's more than likely something that was paid for. Like that placement is paid for. They want you drinking out of a Pepsi can. They want you carrying a certain phone or driving a certain car. So, you know, it's not even remotely the same as like a banner or a video or like a block down in the corner, you know, like a bumper or an overlay ad or something. It's very different. It's very different. What's the difference between product placement and what the insider said they're going to do? Billboards in the background and such? Yeah, they're saying like it would be an actual ad in the game. So imagine a loading screen advertising Buffalo Wild Wings or something. Like, I want you to think about the magnitude of this with me for just a second. Imagine if suddenly Buffalo Wild Wings paid for that in Warzone. Yeah, you know, right before the match starts and that loading screen pops up, just flash up our logo and, you know, whatever our special is right now. You know, watch the game this weekend. Boop, and then it's gone. Do you have any idea what that would likely do for Buffalo Wild Wings that weekend? I just want you to think about how many people would see that ad for a mere 2 to 3 seconds. That's it. What do you think that would do? Telling you, man, this is just the beginning. This idea of like, oh, we'll let some free games do it. Again, this is all according to insider information. We'll let some free games do it, and we'll give them the ability to make some extra scratch and some extra cheddar, and you know, and then we'll start putting in our Game Pass games, and then the really big dogs will say, hey, we can make a lot of money here, right? Buffalo Wild Wings sounds good right now. Might have to go there tonight. You see how that works? I'm not sponsored by Buffalo Wild Wings yet. Hey, talk to me, B-dubs. But it's It's just the scale and the scope of that. The scale and scope of that is just absurd. Top of mind marketing, man. Think about the timing there. They could intentionally have Buffalo Wild Wings advertisements hit between 3 and 4 p.m. in your time zone. Ooh-wee! That would be ridiculous. And then they know really good time for Jimmy John's is between 8 and midnight, because they'll drop it off at your house. You've been drinking. You've been hitting the gummies. You've been hitting the bong. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Little Jimmy John's hit the spot. I mean, I'm telling you, that kind of ad placement and timing would be unbelievably effective. And it's mere seconds on the screen. You're talking about a couple of seconds on the screen. You want a business opportunity right now? Do you want to know what your business opportunity is? Become an advertising broker. Become an advertising broker for indie games. If you understand that business, if you're in that business, if you know people in that business, buddy, I'd be trying to get into that right the frick now. Because it will be ridiculously lucrative and effective. Extremely effective. Yeah, scan this QR code now to get 20% off. Bam! There you go. See? Mm-hmm. The more we talk about it, the more terrible it sounds. I don't think there's any stopping it, but I can totally see targeted ad placement. This is going to do a number on young gamers. Then the smartwatch knows you're tipsy and it lets the ad company know. He's stumbling through the house. Yeah. Barely made it up the stairs. They could have a target training range where you could shoot the different advertisers' products. Yeah. Free delivery with code Xbox. Yep. Mm-hmm. See, now you're seeing the possibilities here of why Microsoft would not just put this in free games and just stop and be like, well, that's enough. You're talking about billions of eyeballs a day, potentially, seeing, the slightest thing. Anything you can think of. I think food and beverage is real easy because you know what these age demographics and gamers drink and consume. Late night gaming sessions, loading screen is an ad for DoorDash Taco Bell. That's what I'm saying, dude. Yeah, I said Jimmy John's. Deadman switch. Hit XY, RB, RT, RB, XXY, up, down, up, left. Or we will place an order for you. Oops, time's up. This food keeps coming to your house. You're like, no! Oh, see, yeah, this gets, this right here, this gets into a whole nother realm. If I worked for DoorDash right now, I'd be working on that. I'd be working on app integration. Install the DoorDash app today. So you would press a button on that ad, it would kick you out to the DoorDash app, and you could place the order right then and there. Isn't this whataboutism? No, whataboutism is when someone does something bad and you say, yeah, but what about these people over here? They did bad stuff. We're theorizing where this could go. I mean, I think it stands to reason that if they're creating the technology, both Sony and Microsoft have created the technology to do this, it will be here eventually, and then it'll just become totally standard. You never answer the door. The squirrels in your neighborhood have been feasting. They fight wars over your porch. You better believe Pepsi is on that Call of Duty already. Oh, yeah. Depending on the game, the order could even be placed in-game if it makes sense in its world. Maybe, because we got to be careful because the transaction needs to be processed, and who's processing it, who's doing that. If it's happening inside the game, then you're going to have, well, we get a cut, well, who's paying for the credit card fee and everything else. I could see it saying, like, press a button right now to load your DoorDash. If you have the DoorDash app installed, it would just open the app. It'd have your credit card information saved, your delivery, and then you could just they could have like quick menu items of like what you might want to get. You know, Qdoba pops up and you're like, man, that sounds amazing. You click a couple buttons, submit the order, and then you dashboard back to your game, and you know, the boys are dropping in. They're like, yo, where are you? It's like, man, I'm sorry, bro. I just had to get some of that Chipotle order. I can't wait to play Chipotle Line Simulator with an app purchase for burritos. It becomes perverse when the devs are forced to slow load times down to appease advertisers. Well, think about it like this, old soul. They could get creative with it, because if they suddenly start introducing load screens, then yeah, obviously people would be like, what the frick is this? Get this out of my face. Now, in a free-to-play game, maybe not. Free-to-play games, people might just be like, well, it's free-to-play. Yeah, they suddenly, they periodically throw up an advertisement, and I got to wait for, 30 seconds, and then it goes away. And then I'm back, I'm back in and dropping, and I'm totally fine. I didn't miss any gameplay. It's fine. And I think the dilemma would be when it becomes disruptive. Can we do this? Can we do this in a way where you're not disrupting the player's experience? Now, there's a variety of ways to do this. You could say, hey, it's down in the corner, and you're just running around in Fortnite, and you're not really doing anything yet, and then you're on the bus, and it's just down there in the corner reminding you. Again, you're seeing the logo. It's making you think, man, what should we do for dinner tonight? And down there in the corner is, BW3's logo, or down in the corner, is a McDonald's logo. And so it's just putting it on your mind. It's putting it on your mind and putting it on your radar. Sure, disruption of gameplay, disruption of load, or whatever, that would freaking irritate the fire out of people, for sure. Why is Chipotle even a thing? It's the worst food. That's not surprising. What are we doing on radio? I don't have anything. Hang on a second. It's the article. Let me go to radio. Topics. It's the most recent article. That's the article. I have no idea what we would title it. I don't know. Maybe trans doctor says we've gone too far, or something like that. They said they wouldn't disrupt it, right? Well, the insider information says that they are aware that it would be irritating to the consumer, and they don't want that to be a thing. Who's Big? It said, somebody said, that's not surprising. Was that an insult of Big? Oh, Big Mo. If you said Big Meech. Fortnite Final Circle, bam. Full screen ad for hemorrhoid cream. Define disrupt. If it prevents you from going to the next thing, loading screen's a disruption. It is if there previously wasn't a loading screen. Yes, it is. Like, imagine games that right now don't have loading screens suddenly having loading screens. Why is Ubisoft trending? I don't understand. Is Ubisoft trending for any particular reason? Oh, 2 Ubisoft games are coming to Game Pass. AC Origins and more. For Honor is coming. If you've never played Assassin's Creed Origins, holy frick, now's the time. It's so good. Ubisoft tweeted 4 hours ago, embrace Elvor's fate as a Norse god and save up to 25% off of Assassin's Creed Valhalla Dawn of Ragnarok expansion. Dawn of Ragnarok, has it come out yet? It came out, didn't it? Or has it not come out yet? Oh no, it came out. It's like a brand new game. New abilities, stories, characters. Man, we missed the boat on playing that one. Ubisoft trending, announcing ads and live service games. Is a scroll a disruption, says Eugene. Yeah, I don't know. It's been out for about 2 weeks. Origins is a great game. That's a win. I think Origins was my favorite. I think it's my favorite Assassin's Creed. I freaking loved it. I thought it was so good. I thought it was excellent. I'm kind of bummed we missed out on Valhalla. It seemed to do really, really well. We were just so late to it. You know, just couldn't do much with it. It's so hard when you're that far behind. You know, I wanted to check out the Ragnarok thing, but we were knee deep in Elden Ring. Here's a game we might have to check out on first look to give you guys a look at. It's called Turbo Overkill. Action FPS shooter. It's an indie. Looks really good. Chainsaw leg. Okay. I'm kind of in. It looks like... Oh, it's got wall running, hero time, chainsaw leg augments, flying cars. Yeah. Like Cyberpunk and Serious Sam Had a Baby. Oh no, you don't have to be that far in AC Valhalla to go do the DLCs. We did all that was needed to jump into DLCs. I remember people telling me that. We did a bunch of stuff so we could jump into DLCs. Sven says, if you decide to go back, you can jump in at the expansion level and play immediately. We kind of missed the boat, unfortunately. Zubair says, for the record, I don't live in a place known for its Tex-Mex food. We do crab cakes. We aren't snobby about our burritos. I totally get it if people from California or Texas don't like it. Oh, Chipotle? Yeah, I don't understand not liking Chipotle. Chipotle, it's just like, it's quality food. It's so good. Abe says, I'm from California. Chipotle is decent. It's not trash. Of course, there are better options, but in a pinch, it gets the job done. It's decent. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's good. The question is not, should they have ads in Halo? The real question is, how long will it take 343 to add or change them? Can you imagine, Hilly? You're like, my gosh, it's February. Get these Christmas ads out of here. What I'm hearing is that Mo has taken his position and turned it up to 11. How out of character. Chipotle is horrible. How is it horrible? I don't understand. It's such a basic assortment of food. So I'm supposed to believe that Chipotle gets rice, chicken, salsa, and guacamole. They just completely fuddle that. They're like, yeah, can't do it. We just can't get it right. It's garbage. It's poison. How is it poison? Chipotle can't hold a candle to the real thing. But that's not the same. That's that's not the same. That's not what we were saying. It's good food. Come to California and try actual Mexican food and you'll see why it's decent. Homie, I've been to Mexico City. I've eaten real, authentic Mexican food. And yes, it's phenomenal. But that doesn't mean Chipotle's horrible. Those two aren't logically connected. Keep thinking that's chicken. It's better this way. So you think Chipotle is just lying to their customers. It's not chicken. Their whole thing about, how they source their meat and all that. They're just lying. And they somehow haven't gotten caught in that lie. Oh, yeah, Mo owns Moe's. Secretly, yeah, welcome to Moe's. That's why he doesn't like Chipotle. He's secretly the owner and operator of Moe's. You can see them cooking it. Yeah, you can see them. It's chicken-flavored processed crap. But Chipotle is like, that's their whole thing. That's their whole thing. Chipotle chicken source. Their whole thing is about the chicken is born in the hatchery at the Chipotle supplier. Chicken suppliers are located in Minnesota, Georgia, Virginia, Arkansas, and North Carolina. Chicken is raised in a grow outhouse where it's provided with food and water to grow into a full-size chicken. I don't understand. That's like one of their big selling points. Right. It's a legal percentage of chicken. They go through the effort of shaping it into the shape of raw chicken breasts. Yeah, that's what I mean. I don't understand. It's just like they're not pouring out meat parts. They're literally taking pieces of the chicken and putting it on the grill back there behind. I'm not saying that corporations don't lie to their customers. I'm saying this would be a huge thing. They'd get caught in this because it's a huge selling point of Chipotle about sustainability and sourcing your food in good ways. They're not dumping like assorted chicken-esque meat parts on the grill. They have pieces of the chicken's body and they put it on the grill and then they cut it after. That's what I'm confused about. Like, I know plenty of these places, it's just a bunch of processed nonsense. You know what I'm saying? It's all getting put into a blender somewhere. And you're getting beaks and everything else. I'm not arguing biology. My fat butt can see them cooking it. There's no blenders involved. That's what I mean. Where's your proof? You can't say it's poison and it's a high percentage of processed chicken without providing me with proof. Where's the proof? Wouldn't there be a documentary about that? About like Chipotle claims to source its meat from healthy chickens and blah, blah, blah. And it's actually a high percentage of processed crap. That'd be a huge story. FDA regs are BS and terrible. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about, I feel like this would be something that would get absolutely blown up. We would know about this. Or somebody would be filming it right now. Somebody's filming a documentary. Pretty sure that doc exists. Chipotle chicken. What is it? Is a question. Chipotle chicken, what is it? See if we can find anybody who's broken this down. This is just people trying to tell you how to make it. Here's your own homemade Chipotle recipe. The chicken is a domesticated subspecies of the red junglefowl with attributes of wild species such as gray and Celian junglefowl. They are originally from southeastern Asia. Rooster, or cock, is a term for an adult male bird, and a younger male may be called a cockerel. A male that has been castrated is a capon. Aye, aye, capon. What percentage is chicken? Chipotle chicken, what percentage is chicken? No one's... No, I can't find anything about this. I'm not saying it's not possible. I'm just saying I would have heard about this. They got all sanctimonious the one year in the Super Bowl. Chipotle doesn't do all of its own cooking. Some is done by an outside company, same as McDonald's. Okay, I don't know where that quote came from. And again, when I'm in the store and I see the chicken back there and they cut it, scoop it into a bowl and bring it up front, I'm not seeing like some special secret bowl coming out. It's because the deep state doesn't want you to know the truth. I've watched plenty of documentaries and seen plenty of like exposés on these companies and what they do, and I really feel like Chipotle stuck their neck out there and was like all about it that one year at the Super Bowl. And I mean, if they were pulling some kind of a sneak job and like feeding you just a bunch of processed crap and it's not actual chicken parts, I feel like that would be really easy to figure out. You got how many hands are touching it, how many people are delivering it and dropping it off. That's how all those chicken facilities got exposed, because you get hired and you go in there with a camera. You don't want to work there. You work there for a week and you got yourself a bunch of documentary footage. That's what I'm asking is sort of, where's the already cooked stuff coming from? I mean, there is other meats that they sell, right? So, I don't know, maybe some of the steaks and stuff, maybe some of the special, there's like the special seasoned chicken and stuff. Maybe that's a bunch of pre-cooked stuff they heat up. But just the generic straight chicken, they're cooking it right there. Qdoba does the same thing. The government says you can call it real if it's X%. Doesn't mean it's real. Then I'm extremely interested where they're fabricating chicken body parts. Like they're literally taking body parts, thighs and breasts, and throwing them on the thing. So they got fabricating something somewhere that's making it look like real body parts. FDA has a percentage of allowed insects in your food. Yeah, because that's going to happen. You can't shut down an entire facility because a gnat falls into the meat, or the blender. It's not going to hurt anybody. There's no chance of disease spread. OnThePulse.com, Chipotle's food comes from where? Meat and dairy, produce, at the restaurant. Yeah, I mean, it's just a blog. We don't eat there nearly as much as we used to, but it's like the one place that we go because there's no eggs. They shut down Mellow Mushroom here, and so that's like the one place we'll go to every once in a while because it's 100% safe. Like, I understand how the FDA works. I understand, like, when you get food that's been processed in a facility, that you're not getting, like, some pure meal thing, right? You know what I'm saying? I know that. I'm not having my mind blown right now. Chipotle is overpriced. E. coli. Long history of food safety issues. A long history? You mean that one time they had the issue with E. coli? When have they had other things happen? I remember the E. coli thing. That was one major facility. Didn't they find out it was some guy doing it on purpose? Wasn't that like investigated and they found out it was like one central hub and like it was basically a disgruntled employee, or am I thinking of something else? I swear that was the thing. Like, they found out that it was a guy doing it. Too many bugs with double the protein. That's right. Too many bugs will double the protein. They also broke child labor in my state. Now, hang on. Did they break child labor, or did a franchise owner break child labor? Because that happens, right? They don't know it's happening. Some franchise owner's breaking the rules. I'm not saying that it didn't happen. I'm always just curious. People like, oh, that company? It's like, no, a really scummy franchise owner did it. That happens very often with the food industry. They're not like, it's not like Chipotle corporate's like totally cool with child labor and they got caught and they're like, huh, whoops, we thought this was cool. It's usually some scummy franchise owner. I think it's from the same article. Yeah, it's just from the same article. I love me some authentic Mexican, but I don't trust that I won't get food poisoning from them more than I would Chipotle. Chipotle isn't franchised? Is it not? Qdoba is. Is Chipotle always corporate? I thought for sure they did the same thing Qdoba did. They were franchises. Just like Jimmy John's. Jimmy John's almost always a franchise. No, they use child slaves to go underground to mine their chickens. It's very sad, and it produces low-quality chicken. Oh, Chipotle's not franchised. Oh, well then how do they do... What was the child labor thing that they did? It was in 50 different locations. Totally over 13,000... Oh my gosh. This sounds like a dadgum tabloid. Let me read. Golly frickin'. How did we get on this? Chipotle... child labor. Chipotle fined $1.4 million in a vast child labor case. Chipotle cited with 13,000 child labor law violations. Okay, that's how many violations. That's not the number of children. Okay, let's settle down. Does that mean, is it 13,000 children or 13,000 violations? Dadgummit, now I'm interested. You frick. All right, hang on. I got to read this. I feel like we're doing a Reforge raid. It's fine. This subject had gone and died 10 times over. All right. I swear if a subscription pops up, freak New York Times! Oh, we're just talking about it. Oh, he is? Oh, I guess Johnny Depp's on the stand. That's why viewership's so low. Thanks, Johnny Depp. No, I'm just kidding. Viewership's been fine today. Okay. Chipotle cited with 13,000 child labor violations in Massachusetts. What is going on in Massachusetts? The state attorney general's office criticized the company in a statement for routinely violating child labor laws between 2015 and 2019 at more than 15 Chipotle locations. Teenagers under 18 years were forced to work without proper work permits late into the night and for too many hours per day, according to the state. Okay. So forced to work is attached to late into the night and for too many hours. Like, they didn't go and kidnap these children and make them work. They're saying they were forced to work late into the night. I was like, what in the world? They didn't go and trap them. Chipotle is a major national restaurant chain that employs thousands of young people across the country and has a duty to ensure minors are in safe working environments. All right. Here we go. The office's findings revealed that the company permitted dozens of 16 and 17-year-old employees to work later than the law allows. Chipotle also allowed children to work more than the state's 9-hour daily limit and the 48-hour weekly limit. See, that's the 48-hour thing. Get the frick out of here. Why would they be working that much? Chipotle is also accused of violating other Massachusetts labor laws, including failing to provide proper timesheets and failing to pay workers within 6 days at the end of a pay period. The Attorney General's fine. Like, that's actually worse, honestly, if you want my personal opinion. These teenagers are probably going in here and thinking this is amazing, making all this bank. It's still wrong, but, like, it's way worse to, like, not properly pay people. It's like, what the frick? Especially if they're all working overtime. They're committed to ensuring that our restaurants are in full compliance with all the laws and regulations. Okay. So, they don't got 9-year-olds running around. It was 16 and 7-year-olds. 16 and 17-year-olds, which is bad, but you hear child labor and you think of, like, I literally was picturing, like, 10 and 12-year-olds. I'm like, what the frick were they doing? So they basically had 16 and 17-year-olds working longer than they were supposed to, and working longer shifts and too many hours in a week and too late in the day. So they got hit 3 times. That's probably why it was 13,000 violations. Because one kid probably amassed, 3 violations every other day. They didn't have 13,000 children working across 50 locations. That math doesn't add up. 50 locations? Jiminy Christmas. So let's just do a little quick math here. 13,000 divided by the 50 locations. They had 260 employees per location. Okay. Yeah, you misread it. It's okay. So they had 13,000 violations, likely because each individual kid was racking up multiple violations a week. They worked too late, violation. Shift was too long, violation. Clocked more than 48 hours a week, violation. Like bam, 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 bam. They're getting blasted. Getting Lono all interested. 4333. Oh, did Qdoba do the same thing? Chipotle is... Oh, you found it. Yeah. Did Chipotle do the same thing with teenagers? We got it. Did we get it on... We got that tab. Oh, man. Did we get it on gaming? Did we get it on gaming? Oh, my gosh. It would be so good to have that to get that. Oh, we don't have it on gaming yet. Frick. So it looks like they fixed the thing that was missing on radio. Ninja's new branding is interesting. I like it. Do you want to know why I like it? It's extremely versatile. You know what you can do with that logo? Brother, you can throw that on a tennis shoe. You can throw that on a ball cap. You can throw that on a beanie, a jersey, a pair of sweatpants. That's a really, really, really good logo. Super versatile. It's got his hair, but it's also like an extremely versatile logo for his... Think about his audience, right? The sweatshirts, the shoes, the shirts, that's so good for that particular clothing style. Looks pretty good on the merch. That's the first thing I thought of when I saw it was merch, because I know his audience really dug some of the merch pushes that he did. So, first thing I thought of when I saw that was, oh yeah, all that sportswear merch that he likes to do. Sweats, sweatshirts, tennis shoes, all that. Yeah. That's solid branding. Good for him. Good for him. She's sitting there next to him just grinning all the way to the dadgum bank. She's so freaking smart. She's half or more than half the reason he's as successful as he is. A lot of people forget that. You think she's 100%? I don't know. I think he's a pretty savvy guy. I had a conversation with him at the Destiny 2 premiere. I think he's pretty smart. I think he understands the business. I think it's pretty down the middle. I do. I think it's pretty down the middle. I think he's pretty smart. But dadgummit, she put dadgum jet fuel in the tank. She's super sharp. How do you know the back isn't full of 10-year-olds mixing up chicken and shaping it into the shape of chicken breasts? That was the missing piece of the puzzle, says Zubair. It's all true, isn't it? Yeah, they're back there fabricating, they're 3D printing chicken bones, Zubair, you know, and shoving it in and shaping it, you know? Yeah, baby. It's all fake. Oh my gosh. That's hysterical. I love it. I absolutely love it. The chicken racket. Okay, it's not bad. Yeah, the first thing you posted, Sven, didn't look very good because of all those extra lines. All those extra white lines. But when I looked at just the logo and just the word ninja, I was like, that is freaking fantastic for merch. That is just so good. It's freaking beautiful. Creature says, haha, laugh it up. Keep eating that trash. I will. I will. I miss it. I miss it. We used to eat it. We used to eat it almost once a week. I probably don't even, I don't think I've had it in a couple of months now. It just isn't worth it because, like, my son likes it, I like it, my wife likes it, and then my daughter doesn't. So it's like, well, what the frick is the point? We're going to still have to come back to the house or pack something and bring it. So at that point, it's just like, forget it. I had to leave for an hour. How far off topic are we? We're talking about Ninja's new branding and Chipotle's chicken being poisoned. So it's a pretty mixed bag. It's a pretty mixed bag. Reminds me of the McDonald's pink goop. That was such a PR nightmare for them when people saw the pink goo. They were like, oh, what the frick is that? You know? Then you walk in and smell it and you're like, I don't care. Apparently Epic and Ninja are having a spat. Yeah, I know. We have to save that stuff for Throwdown Thursday. That's where all the content creator drama can live, Creature, is on Throwdown Thursday right here. It's gaming related enough. If you guys want to know what I think about that kind of stuff, become a member and be here Thursday afternoons. Yeah, I'll talk to you about it. I'll talk to you about the tea I tried to spill in Discord last night. Madam's like, don't bring it up on stream. She's like, you gotta move past it. Are you past it? If you're past it, then be past it. But we'll do it on Thursdays as a member-only perk. She came charging in. Go watch Johnny Depp. Jiminy Christmas. Spat Saturdays. Yeah, come get in a spat with me. No. Spat Saturdays would be like settling our marital disputes. Like, what's the top of the egg? Did you guys see that tweet? What did I just do? The tea that no one gives a crap about. It was so irritating, Abe. I was like, this is a big deal. Nobody cares. Creature says, I put a lot of effort into ignoring your attempt last night. Yeah. Can't believe what you said about salt shakers last week. Salt shakers, am I right, guys? Spatterdays. Yeah, Spatterdays. Come in and settle marital spats. This week we were arguing about how to put forks in the dishwasher. I'm kidding. We've never argued about that. Why would I load the dishwasher?
Have you put a fork in the dishwasher?
I wanted to at least get a few seconds out so we could have a good clip, but I couldn't. Why would... Golly, why would I ever be caught dead doing that? The person hating on Chipotle probably loves Taco Bell. No. Creature is kind of one of those... He actually is super... I don't eat any of that stuff. He is that guy. Like, he lives off of bananas, water, and... I don't know, homemade scones, something like that. Like, he's on, like, this big no sugar, no processed, you know... Zero fun and bitterness. Like, that's his diet. That's his diet. He shops at woodchipsandnofun.com. Like, that's where he gets all his food. You know, it's all made from the earth. Oh, don't be that way, Eugene. Don't pick fights. Don't do that. You behave yourself, sir. Creature says, there's some truth to this, unfortunately. Oh, yeah, man. He has that. He uses portobello mushrooms for his bread and, fried okra for meat. I'm just kidding. I don't know. All I know is he does it. I genuinely know he does not eat a lot of that stuff. Guys, the salt shaker thing isn't a thing, and this is me saying it isn't a thing either. I don't think. You've gone full Inception on me now, Zubair. I don't know which way's up. Fried okra is amazing, though. Figures you would say that, Abe. Don't ask what it means. If I have to explain what it means, I'll lose the business for a second time. We don't need anything processed or anything with added sugar. Yeah, there you go. My brain hurts now. Thanks, Zubair. You're asking like a salt shaker. Abe says, wait. What do you mean, you people? Lono versus Creature diet debate. Go. I concede. I would lose. Yeah, I eat what my wife makes. I can make a pretty mean cheeseburger, and that's about it. I don't get in. Was that a black joke? I mean, if you're assuming it's one, I think that says more about you than me, Eugene. So you should really think about that. You should really think about that. That's the new character. Yeah. Should really think about that. Should really think before you talk. Should really think. Can they see the microphone? Yeah, they can see my face past the microphone. The microphone's off to the left. Creature, teach me your ways. I have all the knowledge, none of the self-control. Fried pickles are pretty good. Oh, I bet they're good. So salty, though. Jeepers. Yeah, too bad for me. I'm not allowed to have salt. Well, I'm allowed to have salt. I'm not allowed to have very much of it. Marry a professional heptathlete? What's that? What type of athlete is that? I don't know. She race plants? What are you saying then? All right, that's enough. That's enough. I resemble that remark. A heptagon. Oh, thank you for clearing that up, Puffin. Is that type of athlete that hates themselves and loves pain? Fried Twinkios, fried Twinkies and fried Oreos. Am I gonna he's gonna make me Google it. Heptathlon. Oh my gosh. Yep. Gotta Google it. An athlete who takes part in a heptathlon. Well, what's a heptathlon? That doesn't help me. A heptathlon is a track and field combined event made up of 7 events. The name is derived from the Greek eta and athlos. I can kind of read Greek. A competitor in a heptathlon is referred to as a heptathlete. Oh, so she's one of these crazy jump over things, throw things. Well, no wonder you're so well behaved. Well, now, but yeah, she probably whoop the tar out of you if she wanted to. Yep. It's 7 track and field events. So she could basically throw a spear through you and then go pole vault with the spear and then throw you and then run away and no one would know what would happen. Basically. I was a ball player. She was an athlete. Oh, so that's how it worked. All right. Speaking of athletics, I just signed up for my first ever marathon. I'm terrified. Well, you're off to the right start, Sven. Whenever you run a marathon or a 5K, you're supposed to tell everyone about it. So you're starting strong.
Nah, that's so rude.
You're starting strong. Starting strong, baby. Wait until I become vegan. Wait until.
Oh, that's terrible.
Hey, Lono, I've seen this story. I was like, really? Xbox? This will be frustrating. Yeah. We probably spent the first 2 hours of the show debating it, and then it's really hard to debate one thing for that long, especially for the second show. So we're way off in left field now. Does everyone want to hear about my vegan lifestyle? Yeah, man. I mean, I make sure and tell everybody about how I'm such, Do I ever tell you guys I'm like a total carnivore? Yeah, it's like a total carny. That's not what that means. All right. Just want to let you guys know. I just love meat. Being a carny is not, it's not just a diet. It's like a way of life. It's just really satisfying. Brings me a lot. Oh, I got a little indigestion. Brings me a lot of joy. It's really tough. I've done one half marathon and 2 marathons when I was younger. Yeah, notice he said when he was younger. Like, those marathons were like around the schoolyard, And knowing Abe, he probably stole something. I'm getting revenge. I'm getting revenge, Abe, for all the Elden Ring. All the Elden Ring stuff. Zubair is like, wow. Running from the popo is one heck of a motivator. That's it, my man. Leans in. Just lean right in. Lean into that joke, baby. Oh, that's funny. Oh my gosh. I hate when I think of the punchline and it's already funny in my brain. Like I barely get it out. I barely get the joke out. I'm laughing. Oh golly. I love layering a joke like that too. It's my favorite. Like the layer, it was about, he was young. He was probably just running around the schoolyard, and here comes the kill shot. Like, I love layering a joke. If we were in court, I would be furiously scribbling at this point. Oh, we got him. On an unrelated note, does anybody want a new DVD player? See, I told you when he was younger, he still got it. He still got the DVD player. Who's buying DVD players? Stole it from the science lab. Do you guys remember when they would roll the television in? That was always a special day. And they had those warning signs on the side of it. They were always super concerned that it was going to tip over and crush someone. I'm like, who died? Why is this such a fear? Was that a thing at your school? It was super, everybody back. And they had like warning labels on the side of the cart about it tipping over. Like, what on earth must have happened more than once, I would think, to warrant such fear and concern over these stupid television carts? You think my ghetto school could afford a science lab? That's pretty good. TV strapped on a cart with a laser disc player and the teacher struggling to get it to work for 15 minutes. Yeah. Yeah. They had to roll it in early because they could never get it to work right. We had a great teacher. He was a chemistry teacher. His name was Mr. Dolive. It was like olive with a D. Oh, he was great. And he would say, dang, you know. He's like, look at this video, students. These dang lemmings are not jumping off this cliff. Now just watch here. You can see their dang foot. They're kicking these lemmings off for the footage. And he was right. You could totally see someone's foot was actively kicking the lemmings. Because, like, the camera's down below and, like, here they come falling. And you could literally see someone's foot helping the lemmings along. It was hilarious. Russian spy? I don't think so. He had a pretty big beard, though. He did kind of look a little bit Russian. And then he disappeared, you know, and so did Mrs. Johnson. But I didn't ask any questions. I just... I'm totally kidding. None of that happened. He did have the big beard, though. He did. What's this Elden Ring news? Someone's underwear, someone's panties, I hate that word, is getting people banned. It's a smart logo. It's a good logo. I think it's well done. Can't wait to see the cancel Lono mob using the black joke videos out of context. I'll be on their side. You totally would too, Abe. You'd be like, I always hated him. I really did. He called me a B word that one time, so ever since I've had it in for him. Melania is healing without actually hitting the player after the patch. This is on PS5. I got summoned 8 times after the patch. So have they glitched out Melania? So they tried to quietly do something to her, I bet. Distorted. I bet you $10 they tried to quietly do something to Melania and they jacked her up. They didn't say anything about touching her. Why would she suddenly be healing herself without hitting you? Unless they tweak something and they broke something. I felt so attacked. I've had multiple therapist sessions to discuss the drama I experience in these streams. Here it is on Reddit. Yeah, trauma. You put drama. I mean... Drama works. Drama works, Abe. I mean, better to wait 2 years and write a twit longer, but still, it works. A woman with a salad walked past me in a restaurant and said, you know, a cow died so you could eat that steak. And I replied, if you weren't eating its food, it might have lived. That's pretty good. Oh, yeah, she's 100% healing just by swinging. Look at this. Watch her health bar. She's 100%. Swing, swing, swing. Swing, 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 heal. Swing, 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 heal. Yeah. Look at the guy's health bar at the top. He never gets touched. She never gets touched. She heals there, and heals there. Yeah. They frickin' broke Melania. That's not enough evidence. I mean, the guy said he's been summoned 8 times. I got summoned 8 times after the patch, and it happened every time. This is the recent one. Melania's healing couldn't be any worse. Oh. Somebody quoted Joseph Anderson. Joseph Anderson, Melania healing from blocking makes no sense. At this point, she might as well heal from hitting the air. Miyazaki. Not a bad idea. New patch comes out. Melania heals when you hit her. This guy said, haha, I beat her pre-nerf. Wait. Beating her post-patch will be a new badge of honor. I beat Melania post-patch. Yeah, so without any milk. Right this way. Thanks for the info. I'm never fighting her again. The Reforge logo's all right, I guess. Oh, thank you. Well, Creature did it, not me. Seen too many claims of bosses healing in other games when it's just network syncing with the host. Yeah, but that can't be what this is. I mean, obviously, it's just one video. It's just one video. But look, like, think about it. So the theory would be, Eugene, if this footage is not legitimate, that she has hit somebody at some point and it's just now catching up. But the problem is the healing is literally happening with the animation. Heal, heal, heal. And this guy that guy's not taking any damage. That guy's actively has a tick healing happening. He's got something that's giving him health as he rolls around. One video and he's not the host. I mean, okay, let's check the guy's karma. Let's check the original poster's karma. Okay. So this guy has been 1 year. He's got 24, almost 25,000 comment karma, a little under 4,000 post karma. I don't know, man. This guy would have to be either completely misunderstanding what's going on. She should have healed off you here. She did hit you. That is a problem that has been highlighted by quite a lot of people that have extensive experience with this fight on and offline. Previously, you were dodging attacks from her that would have actually hit you if not for latency. It's why dodging her as a phantom is overall considerably easier than as a host. These attacks she's healing off are attacks that you should be taking damage on, but you're getting away with it due to latency. She's attacking the position you are in the host's world, not your world. This is why it's so easy to dodge her as a phantom. She is never truly targeting you. So this guy's saying what Eugene is saying. Like, yeah, she is hitting you. All right, let's watch it with that context in mind. I think that guy might be right. Watch. Look where she hits. So he was just Wait, was he even there? Yeah, that first batch of flowers, he was 100% standing there. So she is registering a hit on where he previously was because he's not host. And then right here, same deal. He was just right there. He's running in a straight line. Like if he was going all over the place and she was landing on locations where he wasn't, then the latency explanation wouldn't be a good explanation. But right there, again, she went right over his head into those flowers. And that's where he previously was, so she healed. Yeah, I think that guy's explanation is actually correct. Unless other people start posting that her healing is glitching. Yeah, it's got 1,100 votes and 5,000 upvotes, so it certainly is trending. She hit the host behind her. Yeah, you would want to see a 1v1 of someone hosting their own game and being like, oh, look, yeah, she's healing herself and she's totally whiffing. Like, that guy wasn't the host. And so, the guy's explaining and he's like, no, she's hitting where you previously were. This guy's saying Swarm of Flies is nerfed, almost useless on Melania now. Oh yeah, it did like nothing. This guy's parry game is strong. Check this out. This guy's parry game is strong, dude. Bing. Wham. Okay. And then was that the Swarm of Flies, the follow-up? Oh no, here's Swarm of Flies. Oh yeah, it's doing like nothing to her. I feel like it used to do a lot more than that. I swear I saw footage of it just absolutely just shredding her. He's still trying to parry. Nice. Man. To get good at parrying, dude, that's such an achievement. This guy is just punishing the frick out of her. I love how players play naked. I think it's hilarious. It's naked with a shield and a big old friggin' morning star or whatever that was. Doesn't do a lot of damage, just massive bleed buildup. Dang, gold parry is nice. Yeah, it was taking care of business. It was certainly taking care of business. Because the blood loss buildup is what does the damage, not the attack itself. This guy says, big brain from FromSoft. I love how From Software undeniably read all the critiques on bleed builds being so overpowered, and instead of nerfing one thing, they really just said, how about we just buff everything else? He said, effing classic FromSoft. I can't even be mad. In Elden Ring PvP, the same thing applies. If you are being serious, you want to use the host as bait. The cooperators have the same latency thing as in that fight. I was playing the other day and someone kept hitting me. You would hear the sound, but I took no damage. Got it. Yo, this is a killer cosplay, bro. Look at this. That's not a wallpaper or fan art. That's a dadgum cosplay. That's ridiculously good. I thought that was like fan art wallpaper for a second. That's super good. This guy did a Melania 40-second kill SL 150. Jeepers. Fixed a bug that caused the reduction of runes due to NPC Gostock when player died in Stormveil Castle to occur at an unintended timing. We can only blame him for the unintended part. So there was a bug that caused the reduction of runes due to NPC Caustic when a player died in Stormveil Castle to occur at an unintended timing. What does that even mean? Swarm of Flies really helped me in all my boss solo runs, so I guess I'll have to do another run now. Oh well, trust me, the damage used to be crazy good. Apparently the new patch is really good for PvP. The Swarm of Flies, Flame of Frenzy, and Frenzied Burst changes. The bug where the damage of the weapon art carry retaliation was increased by weapon and status, and the effect was not displayed correctly during online multiplayer. And then fixed a bug where the animation when inflicted with blood loss and frostbite was bigger than originally planned. It looked like the PvP crowd is celebrating those changes. That's the guy who wanted you to go left instead of through the main gate. If you go left, he would swipe a bit of runes every time you died. Oh, that's why you would lose the runes. I didn't realize it was him. I hope they patch this bug soon, but I'll soon help other Tarnished. Might take a hot minute, though. This guy said patch 1.04, Melania fight as a summon. Melania healing bug as a summon. No, hang on. This is a different video. Somebody should tell this guy he has his thing labeled as Dark Souls. Yeah, apparently, no, this is a completely separate video from a completely separate guy. Yeah, somebody says, this looks incredibly painful, even though she's healing when she's missing. Yeah, maybe they've done something. Yeah, I'm sorry. They might have done something to, they might have done something that's messed with the netcode, or it made the desync worse or something. Yeah, there she goes again, totally missing and healing. Yeah, her health bar is all weird. Yeah, right there. Right there. Yeah. They must have done something. Like, people are saying, like, this can happen because of desync, but maybe it's worse now or something. Again, not the host. Right, but were there mass reports of this prior to this patch, or did this patch introduce something that's causing it to happen more often? It's desync. No. I think we've acknowledged it as desync. I don't think anybody's disputing that it's desync, but the people are. The theory would be that they've done something that's making desync worse, and this fight it's easiest to see because she's blatantly like that one right there. She's blatantly missing. Like look at how long he gets. Like watch how long he's out of the box. Look how long he's out of the box, and it's still counting. This one here was the worst one coming up. Oh no, sorry, I misread it. A couple of those, he was out of the hitbox for like almost a full second. This is a great shot right here. Get a little cheek action on the old tarnished. Haven't heard about this level of desync with the previous patches. That's not the game, that's the internet. Right, but these are people that commonly help people with Melania, and they're saying this has never happened before at this level. So we're supposed to expect that this guy uploaded this video. He's got 11,000 subscribers, and the video now has 16,000 views. Let me summon her, third summon solo Melania. He's got almost 2 million views. Apparently, is this Let Me Summon Her? Is this the guy? Unless people are just doing it. Yeah, I mean, the only thing that could be happening is maybe the patch has changed matchmaking and now you're region mismatching and it's increasing latency or something. Y'all are disagreeing about what is broken? I don't think we're disagreeing about what's broken. I know that it is desync. Like, I know what the cause is. I'm saying it happening today and a bunch of people saying, yo, why is this happening? They're not stupid. I think they understand what it is. They're saying, why is this happening so much? There's a lot of Let Me Solo Her copycats now. Yeah. So, yeah, I would say that something has happened that's making the desync happen more often. Because the guy literally has other videos of him helping people. Oh, hey, they're giving us full advertising on our debt video. Nice. I mean, these guys have other videos of them helping people at Melania, so they're like, "Yo, what happened? We're encountering this a whole lot today." You know. Now, yeah, they're calling it a bug, but I don't know. Something's causing instances of that to rise for some reason. They messed up Melania in co-op. It seems like something has caused an increase in desync at Melania. So the person that is not the host is getting hit and she's healing and they're not seeing the hit. They're out of the hitbox and she's swinging. And it's like, according to her, they're still there because of latency. Like, she swings, she's like, oh, I get to heal, I hit you. And you're like, no, you didn't, I'm over here. But according to her and the host, you're still there. It's called desync. So I'm going to put a link in chat. Let's head over to Reforge Radio. I think this is going to be a good one today. There is a transgendered psychologist out in LA, and she thinks that things are going too far, expressing a lot of the concerns, things that I've expressed concerns about young children transitioning. And so thanks for all the votes on the poll. Click that link in chat. If you're not interested in the more serious conversations, I totally understand. Be sure to smash the like button. Be sure to consider doing a membership because of the extra stream on Thursday afternoons and Friday nights. This Friday night is community game night. Get Fortnite installed. Get it updated. Throw us a follow on TikTok if you use the app at Reforge TV. At Reforge TV. You can go over there and throw us a follow. We need like 140 more followers and we can unlock streaming over there. We want to experiment with it, see if it works. It won't affect YouTube. It'll be something it'll be like a simulcast. But we do need followers over there to unlock that feature. All right? So smack that button. and smack that like button, and then hit the link in chat. Come on, head over to Reforge Radio with us for a conversation about this situation. And yeah, I'll see you guys over there. Click that link in chat.